Right, we would like to continue. We were studying the cost management chapter, and we have already covered the initial part of it, and now we were about to start the first process. Uh, the first process, as I explained earlier, is plan cost management, and naturally, this is the very first planning process, and the result of it would be the cost management plan. Um, Conventionally, as we have studied the scope and time, cost has got exactly the same pattern. We have charter to be used as an input, project management plan to be used as an input, and this project management plan, the essential part which I require for my cost management planning, is the schedule management plan and the risk management plan. These are two associated items which are required for developing the guidelines for cost management in cost management plan. Then we have enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets. The tools are also the same. Expert judgment, data analysis, and the meetings. And as I explained earlier, the data analysis means that whatever kind of calculations and data analytical tools will be used during costing, all that are to be explained here. Uh, the choice of tools and techniques would be made, the alternatives analyzed, and the guidelines set in what condition what you have to do. But these are just the rules established. The policies, procedures, and other things are put in place. The repositories are accessed and they are made available for the project. After the cost management plan has been developed, the subsequent process of estimating the cost and determining the budget will actually be using the guidelines given in the cost management plan. So I don't think there is anything to explain. In project management plan, we have the scope baseline and the schedule baseline and other information like the management plans, which I have just talked about. Charter we need to have in as an input. Enterprise and environmental factors. Naturally, we have to look at the organizational culture and the organizational structure. What are the market conditions? What product we are creating? Um, then currency exchange rates, naturally, that are important from the cost point of view. Any published commercial information, like some rates which have been nationally established by the government or by some volunteer body like Engineering Council, Pakistan Engineering Council, or something like that. Project management information system, which provides alternatives possibilities to managing the cost, and that is to be developed by the organization. Organizational process assets, we may be having certain financial control procedures and guidelines from uh, the organizational archives. Historical information can be of use. Any financial databases could provide us useful data, and existing formal and informal cost estimation and budgeting related policies, procedures, and guidelines are going to be helpful in developing the cost management plan. Naturally, the expert judgment, we need to have people who are experienced in cost management, cost estimation, determination of budget, and all that. So we will have expert judgment from them. Analytical techniques, like we need to have the developing the cost management plan that may involve choosing strategic options to fund the project, such as is it going to be a self-funding, funding with equity, or funding with debt, or whatever. Cost management plan may also detail ways to finance project resources, such as making or purchasing, renting or leasing. These decisions, like other financial decisions affecting the project, may affect project schedule as well as the cost. And that is exactly why we were considering the schedule management plan and risk management plan as an input. Then organizational policies and procedures may influence which financial techniques are employed in these decisions. Techniques may include but are not limited to payback periods, return on investments, IRR, discount cash flows, and all that, which we have already studied. Naturally, meetings with the stakeholders and our own team members. The cost management plan is naturally a part of the project management plan, and it describes how the project cost will be planned, structured, and controlled. Cost management processes and their associated tools and techniques are documented in the cost management plan. So what all you need to know in the cost management plan? You have to establish certain rationales. How are you going to be measuring the cost? What are the units of measure for the cost? It is just like you are measuring distance in kilometers or meters or feet or whatever. Similarly, you must ascertain what currency or what unit you are using for measurement of the cost. Then how much, what is the level of precision? The degree to which the activity cost estimate will be rounded up or down, right? You may be aware that normally we round it off at two digits. When we are using some currency, we generally round it off on two digits. So maybe it is 100.49, then probably we should round it up or down, whatever we need to do. What 0.49 means? Does it mean zero point 0.5 or does it mean 100 or 101 or whatever? So this level of precision we may have to decide. If it is more sensitive, then probably we have to go for even into the four digits or something like that. Then is the level of accuracy. This is the acceptance range used in determining realistic activity cost estimates is specified and may include an amount for contingencies. So this is plus minus how much is okay with you. Whatever you think is going to be the cost of it, plus minus this much percent is the fluctuation allowed. Then organizational procedure links. These are the links with the WBS, work breakdown structure. So each of your cost centers or cost um, heads would be associated with some activities of the WBS. So a numbering system, as we understand, we already had studied in scope that WBS has a numbering system by which we try to identify the different control centers or the work packages. So that numbering system would have linkages to our costs. Control threshold. This is the variance threshold for monitoring cost performance. Like, we can bear this much extra expense or this much less expense uh, without, we are ready to take this much, we accept this much risk. Maybe if it is millions of dollars of project, we may not be considering, you know, 50 paisa plus minus, or maybe 1 rupee plus minus, or maybe 50 rupee plus minus. So, what constitutes a, a variance? How much is enough to call that it has varied from its actual result? So this is the level of acceptability of the control threshold. Maybe we say up to 100 rupees plus or minus, we are fine with it. So we are ready to accept the risk of 100 rupees getting short or more. Rules of performance measurement have to be established, and naturally for that, earned value management is to be defined. The rules for earned value management of how the performance is to be measured. For example, we define the points in the WBS at which measurement of control accounts will be performed. We establish the earned value measurement techniques, which method to use where, whether we are using the weighted milestones, we are using some fixed formula for the calculations, or we are using the percent complete, which is conventional in most of the projects. Specify tracking methodologies and the earned value management computation equations for calculating project estimate, like estimate at completion. This is the forecast how much it is likely to be spent in the current situation. जी शरिया.
सर ये आपकी स्लाइड्स मूव नहीं कर रही साथ जो है
Oh, I'm
जो
sorry.
आप एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं फर्दर
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll just flash through these slides for you. Okay. This was the first slide, which shows the inputs, tools and techniques and outputs. This was the data flow diagram showing cost management plan is the only output getting into the project management plan and the input from where they're coming. Then we discussed the inputs. In inputs, we said project management plan will include the cost baseline, schedule baseline, scope baseline, and any other information may be related to cost. Charter will be an input, that is always an input for any management plan. Enterprise environmental factor and organization process assets are always the input, but what is more important from enterprise environmental factor point of view, organizational culture, market conditions, currency exchange rates, any published information, commercial information, or project management information system, which we have already been discussing. In organizational process assets, we may be interested in financial control procedures, which are given in our policies, in our project management system. Any historical information or lessons learned, knowledge bases or archives or databases. Financial databases, they may be consulted, and any existing formal or informal cost estimation and budgeting related policies, procedures, and guidelines. This all is to be included in the cost management plan. The tools we use here is the expert judgment naturally in the specific areas we are interested here, like cost estimation, like budgeting. So what are the opinion of the experts of how to use the which technique? There are the analytical techniques. This is developing the cost management plan may involve choosing strategic options to fund the project. Like is it a self-funding project? It is a funding with equity, funding with debt or whatever. Organizational policies and procedures may influence which financial techniques are employed in these decisions. Techniques may include payback period, return on investment, or whatever we have studied earlier. Meetings with your own team members and the stakeholders to agree on ultimately the cost management plan. The cost management plan that is going to be forming the part of the project management plan, and it gives us the detailed instructions, guidelines for how to plan the cost, how to structure it, and how to ultimately control it. Cost management plan, beside other things, will should also include these parameters. For example, what is going to be the unit of measure? In what currency, in what unit are we measuring the cost? Maybe in dollars, maybe in rupees or whatever. Level of precision, what is going to be the level of precision? This is the degree to which activity cost estimate will be rounded off, maybe rounded up or rounded down, based on the scope of the activities and magnitude of the project. There is a level of accuracy. This is the acceptable range used in determining realistic activity cost estimates is specified and may include an amount for contingencies. This is included within the level of accuracy. Organizational procedure links, as we have already discussed, are the links with the kind of a numbering system which exists in work breakdown structure. You remember when we created the work breakdown structure, we tried to number it like 1, 1.1, 1.2. So those numbers are now easy for us to refer to rather than naming that specific cost center or the work package. So we will, for accounting purposes, we will always be remembering those activities or cost centers from their numeric number, which is also called a control account. Then control thresholds. These are the variance thresholds. Thresholds for monitoring cost performance may be specified to indicate an agreed upon amount of variation to be allowed. Then are the rules for performance measurement. Here we establish earned value management, rules of performance measurement. How would we know that earned value is how is it performing? So we have to define the points in the WBS at which those measurements of control accounts will be performed. Establish the earned value management techniques, like which method we'll be using. Maybe sometimes we have to use the weighted milestones or averages, some fixed formula, or some percentage complete. Specify tracking methodologies, and the earned value management computation equations for calculating project estimate at completion. This is the forecasting we are trying to do. We are trying to uh, guess how how much money would have been spent when this project will complete after having, you know, impacting it by whatever we have achieved so far. So seeing the performance, our performance on this project so far, we are trying to guess how much money will ultimately be spent on this project. We are trying to forecast that. Then what is the reporting format? What in what various ways different reports and returns regarding cost can be generated? Naturally, this is according to the requirement of the different stakeholders, which reports are to be generated. Then what are the formats of each one of those reports? Process descriptions. These are the descriptions of each of the other cost management processes are documented. Additional details can also be there about cost management activities, which may include description of the strategic funding choices, procedure to account for fluctuations in currency, procedure to for project cost recording. How are you going to record the cost? So this much is the establishment of guidelines, the policies, procedures for doing the subsequent work. Now we are going to talk about the subsequent work, which is next task, next activity is estimate cost. Here you and your team will sit together and start estimating the cost for each and every activity. So we develop some kinds of approximation of the monetary resources needed to complete the project activities. Whatever we do, howsoever we estimate the cost, but we can never be accurate because we are unable to see the future. Therefore, this is going to be anyways an approximation, maybe a very well educated approximation, or may, may, uh, maybe it is more uncertain. More uncertainty is usually at the higher level. When I'm talking about the whole project, I can approximate it, probably this much money will be spent for the whole project. But while saying that, I did not mention what exactly are the activities included and how much each activity is going to be costing. That much detail is only done during this process, estimate cost. So the key benefit of this process is that it determines the amount of cost required for to complete the project work. This will give us exact amount how much money do we require to handle this project. Estimates are, as we said, these are just approximations. No matter if they are very detailed estimations, still they are estimations, still they are approximations. And so we are trying to predict how much money will be spent in doing each and every activity. That is based on the information known at a given point in time. But as we move ahead in the life of the project, we become wise and we know more. And when we know more, these predictions can be corrected to suit the current uh, data available. Cost estimates include identification and consideration of costing alternatives to initiate and complete the project. Cost trade-offs and risks should be considered, such as make or buy decision, buy or lease decision, or sharing of resources in order to achieve optimal cost for the project. Can someone explain to me what is a make or buy decision? Open to you. What is a make or buy decision? Please raise hands. G Faisal.
सर मेक तो है कि विद इन दी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यानी प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर ही दे विल प्रोजेक्ट टीम इसको बनाएगी, ठीक है सर। और बाय में ये होता है कि आप आउटसोर्स कर देते हैं इस काम को।
Right. The decision whether we'll be doing this job ourselves or it will have to be outsourced. This is the make or buy decision. And this decision is dependent on three things. Number one, the capability. Number two, capacity. And number three, the risk. So if we do not have a capability of doing a certain activity within our project, we are not capable of doing it. Maybe this requires some additional skill which we don't have. So we don't have the capability to handle that task. Therefore, we would leave it to the experts. We will ask the people who are specialists in doing that to come and take this part of the project and can do it for us. This is when we do not have the capability. Second was when we do not have the capacity. Well, we are capable of doing that thing, but we do not have enough resources. We know how to do it, but we do not have so many people or other resources to do it by ourselves. Therefore, it is convenient to hire someone from the open market who has sufficient resources and who also has the capability to do that. To we outsource it to that person. Third case is if it carries high risk tag. Probably this activity we are capable of doing it, and we also have the capacity to do it, but this is so risky that this small little task I'm going to do on a small budget, if we lose something, if we encounter some risk, the damage is too high and we can't afford that kind of risk. So therefore I am ready to pay a premium in shape of hiring experts to do it, and they may be charging me more than what I can do this job myself, but it is wise decision to let it be done by the experts as if they take on the risk. So we are transferring the risk to them. So these are the three scenarios in which we make or buy decision. Now the next term is buy or lease. Usman, can you please guide me how buy or lease works? Usman Ali Shah.
Sir, buy or versus lease, we evaluate like leasing will be feasible for us for a certain period of time in terms of cost,
Okay.
or should we buy it like if the cost of the product is affordable for us and if the return is enough compared to the cost.
Right. So we are doing the cost analysis here as well. So, for example, you are a construction company, and for the projects you are doing, uh, you need to have machinery and special equipment. Uh, First time you are going to be working on a high-rise building, and you need a special crane. You are trying to make a buy or lease decision. On what conditions are you considering that? Buy or lease? Should we buy a crane of our own to do this job, or should I lease it from someone? So, what is your decision? What is your argument about it? जी उस्मान,
सर हेलो
जी बोलिए.
सर इट डिपेंड्स ऑन सो मेनी थिंग्स आई मीन काफी चीजों पे डिपेंड करता है इसका
Take some
आंसर जो है
assumption. Take some
सबसे
assumption.
पहले तो अगर तो assumption सर ये है कि अगर सिंगल प्रोजेक्ट है वो कंस्ट्रक्शन है जो आप जिस तरह आपने बताया ठीक है और कॉस्ट एनालिसिस आपने निकाल ली है आई मीन के सिंगल प्रोजेक्ट है उसके बाद हमें ये वो जो क्रेन है किसी काम की नहीं है तो ऑफ कोर्स हम लीज करेंगे उसे
लीज करेंगे.
लेकिन यस सर लेकिन अगर आप कंस्ट्रक्शन कंपनी है और यू नो लाइक आपके पास मल्टीपल प्रोजेक्ट्स चल रहे हैं
हाँ
और आपने कॉस्ट निकाला है तो लीज आपको अगर एक्सपेंसिव पड़ रही है तो
हाँ.
बाय बेटर ऑप्शन है तो इट डिपेंड
ओके. मुझे कुछ एग्जांपल दें.
सिंगल प्रोजेक्ट
Example दें कि crane, what is the cost of leasing a crane, what is going to be cost of buying a crane, or maybe third option could be renting it. So compare it with all the three options. Give me some approximate cost. Anyone else? Sufyan, anything from your side? Shahryar?
यस सर, इसमें सर एग्जांपल इस तरह से आप ली जा सकती है कि लेट्स से कि क्रेन की कॉस्ट एज्यूम कर लेते हैं कि $3 million
Right.
फॉर एग्जांपल,
Okay.
ठीक है। तो $3 million में प्लस आप उसकी उसी साल में उसकी ऑपरेशनल कॉस्ट भी आप 500,000 लगा लें, ठीक है। तो
Okay.
3.5 मिलियन आपको 1 ईयर यानी कि उसका टोटल पैकेज पड़ेगा। लेकिन
3.5
अगर आपने
million.
लीज की कॉस्ट अगर 3.5 मिलियन
Hmm.
इंक्लूडिंग द ऑपरेशनल कॉस्ट,
Right.
फिक्स प्लस ऑपरेशनल कॉस्ट, ठीक है।
Okay.
लेकिन आपको अगर लीज का पैकेज अगर आपको 1 मिलियन का पड़ जाता है इंक्लूडिंग द ऑपरेशनल कॉस्ट,
Okay.
तो आपके लिए लीजिंग बेटर ऑप्शन है,
So leasing
क्योंकि
is for
प्रोजेक्ट
you're
लास्ट फॉर
you're doing the leasing for 3 years only.
लीजिंग वी विल डू फॉर 1 ईयर बिकॉज द प्रोजेक्ट विल लास्ट फॉर 1 ईयर।
Okay. Project is going to last for 1 year.
ये एग्जम्पशन है।
And
यस सर,
if I buy the crane, what will I do with
यस
the crane after 1 year? If I do not have assured business of multi-story high-rise buildings,
एग्जैक्टली,
I have no fun in buying the crane. But if there is some business lined up, and I am sure that I am going to be needing this crane time and again, and I find that leasing or hiring or renting this crane is costing me much more, then probably I will like to buy it. But if I do not have a short business and it is a one-time activity, probably I will be going for leasing or renting this crane. Are you with me, all of you?
यस सर, एग्री।
Right. And then there is yet another strategy, and that is sharing the resources. Maybe you have got excess resources in one area, you share these resources with another project or another organization, and when you require certain resources which they have in excess, you can use them. So that way we can share resources with others. So there are a lot many techniques and strategies we can come up with, and that is all just to achieve the optimal cost for the project. That is exactly what our target is, to to economize and be optimal, as if we can be not only effective but efficient. I hope you remember the difference between effectiveness and efficiency, which we discussed earlier. Right. What is the unit of measure? We just talked about it. Cost estimates are generally expressed in unit of measure. So what is the unit of measure here? Is the currency. So like in Pakistan, when we are doing these large scale projects, we are always dealing in dollars. And in some countries, it could be euros or yen or whatever kind of currency it is. Like on CPEC, we have agreed with China to be, working in their currency rather than in dollar, because in that case we are involving another country's currency which is not exactly involved with the work we are doing. This is a work between Pakistan and China, and they can mutually decide that this will be the currency it will be used. In some instances, other units of measure can also be used to facilitate comparison, eliminating the effects of currency fluctuations like staff hours or staff days. Estimate accuracy. Cost estimates should be reviewed and refined during the course of project to reflect additional details as it becomes available and assumptions are tested. So, as more facts and figures become available, we keep revising our estimates, and we keep making our estimates more accurate. But initially, the estimate we came up with is most likely not very accurate. The accuracy of a project estimate will increase as the project progresses through the project life cycle. What are the different types of estimates? Now, this is interesting. Although it is a heuristic, this is a thumb rule. This is not exactly true, but still it is a very good guideline for anyone who is involved in estimations. Now, you see, estimations are of various types and they are done at various points in time during the life of the project. There is a kind of estimate which was used when we were even at the feasibility stage or even before the feasibility stage, when the idea of the project or the product was conceived. We were trying to make a very arbitrary kind of a estimate which would just suggest a value this project is going to take. So, for example, your boss calls you and asks you that I want to construct a five-star hotel in this area, and can you give me a wild guess how much will it cost me? So, you being a financial advisor to your boss, naturally understanding the finances and the market conditions, you may come up with a value which is, although a very wide approximation, but still it holds some water. It is not purely incorrect, but it is near to what you expect is going to be expended on that. And for that, naturally, you will have to do a little bit of a research, see how many hotels have been constructed in the surrounding areas or in the whole country in the last many years. Five-star hotels, how much did they cost at this time, that time, how much is the worth of those hotels at this time, and what should be the cost of construction. So I am not asking you to go into a lot of detail, but I am just asking you to create an approximation, a very wild guess. So at the spur of the moment, whatever you come up with would justify to some extent your expenditure, but that is not going to be exact because you did not consider how many floors this hotel will be having, how huge the area would be. But generally speaking, you know that in a five-star hotel there has to be at least this much many rooms and at least a uh, swimming pool and dining area and all that. So, considering all that, you will come up with some kind of an estimate, which I call as a lump sum estimate. But naturally, we all understand this is not an accurate estimate. So, this is a very, very inaccurate estimate. But how much variance you are expecting out of it? So, such a rough estimate, such a guesswork, we expect that if I quoted 100,000 rupees for a job, then it can be done in minus 50% or as much as 100% more. So, minus 50% means that this estimate of mine of 100,000, maybe at minimum, we may build the same thing in 50,000 rupees. Or maybe it may take 100% more, that means 200,000 rupees. So, if the lump sum estimate was given as 100,000 rupees, then it is all right for it to fluctuate between 50,000 and 200,000. This is a good estimate. This is a good lump sum estimate. Now let's move ahead when you have the business case ready and you are about to start the project. And at that stage, without going into the detail of the project, you again want to uh, establish another kind of a little more detailed estimate, but naturally you are not going to down to the activity level. So this is going to be a rough order magnitude. This is as bad as lump sum, but slightly better. So this is normally in the initiation phases of the project, and this estimate carry is supported by some calculations, but does not go down to the level of work package or activity. So this estimate, the accuracy is slightly better. This could be, the accuracy could be within the range from -25 to +75%. Meaning what? If you estimate 100,000 rupees, then this job probably can be done in 75,000 rupees or 1,75,000 rupees. So -25 plus 75. Then is the budgetary estimate. The people who are assigning you the budget, they are not calculating everything down to the activity level, but at some higher level, they have some broad categorization. This budgetary estimate is much better than the rough order magnitude, but it is still not as good as the definitive estimate, which is the detailed estimate. So the fluctuation within this budgetary estimate, the acceptable range could be -10 plus 25%. Meaning what? That if you have quoted 100,000 rupees, it could be done at minimum in 90,000 rupees and at maximum in 1,25,000 rupees. Then comes the detailed estimate, which we call definitive estimate. This is the estimate of the project manager, and project manager has created this estimate after adding the cost of everything, all the resources. So once this estimate comes up, this is probably the most accurate out of the previous four estimates. And the accuracy of this estimate lies between -5% to 10%. Meaning what? That if you have quoted 100,000 rupees, then this job can definitely be done between 95,000 and 110,000 rupees. 110,000 rupees, 1,10,000 rupees. So are you with me? जी Shahriyar.
सर ये जो माइनस है इसका मतलब है कि लेस जो आपने एस्टिमेट किया था
जी जी जी
उससे 5% लेस
जी normally the
और 10% का मतलब more.
tendency is that you estimate on the higher side, right? So therefore there is more tendency to go beyond that estimate, and doing it in less is kind of less probability of doing this job
सर ये
in
जो
less. जी जी
पहला केस है -50 to 100,
जी
तो लेट्स से एस्टिमेट 100,000 आपने किया है,
जी जी
तो 100% का मतलब है कि इट कैन गो अप टू 200,000.
exactly. And 50% means minus 50%,
50% means 50,000.
50,000.
50 पर
So
अगर
if somebody has
50,000
given
होगा
you an estimate of 100,000, you can expect to that this project will actually range between 50,000 and 200,000. Are you all with me on that? जी
सर वैसे प्रोजेक्ट में हम इसको मिटिगेट करने के लिए RFI कर लेते हैं कि कोई एक रफ एस्टिमेट वो
RFI क्या है?
सप्लायर ही बता दो इस प्रोजेक्ट पे. रिक्वेस्ट फॉर इंफॉर्मेशन है,
हाँ जी हाँ जी. बट
तो
वो आप
उसमें
करेंगे
हम रफ
definitive.
एस्टिमेट. यस सर.
That you will do in definitive estimate. When you are actually estimating each and every activity, and you would know certain facts and you will estimate them, and where you do not know, you will float a RFI, request for information, and as a result you will get the rates from the market, and those rates could be used for your detailed estimate, but that is applicable to the जी
सर डेफिनेटिव एस्टिमेट मेरे ख्याल से नहीं होता. लाइक आईसीटी प्रोजेक्ट में लेट्स सपोज हमने कोई डिजिटल सीआरएम की ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन करनी है, करेक्ट?
जी जी
न्यू सीआरएम बनाने, तो हम बड़े इनिशियल फेज में है, तो हम वेंडर से हम डिफरेंट सप्लायर से जो है ना RFI फ्लोट करते हैं कि भाई इसका रफली एस्टिमेट क्या होगा इसका जो है.
जी
तो
जी.
अभी तो उसने एक्टिविटीज और वर्क ब्रेकडाउन स्ट्रक्चर किया ही नहीं है सप्लायर ने,
Then you are
वो
doing
हमें रफली एस्टिमेट कह देता है
rough
कि
order भी हो
भाई
सकता है. Yes, of course.
बिल्कुल.
You can always
हाँ जी, कि
देखिए,
3 to.
these are four different people who are doing these estimates at four different times. So anybody can seek advice from the market. RFI can be floated anytime. But naturally, you are not going to be asking for RFI in lump sum estimate, because lump sum estimate is just like I am asking you how much, what do you think, how much will it cost? So you will say, sir, I'll get back to you. So I just want to generally have an idea how much money will be spent to construct a five-star hotel. So you should give me some figure like with this much million or billion or whatever. So in lump sum, in rough order of magnitude, you generally do not go and consult many people. But when you are doing the budgetary estimate or definitive estimate, there is more need to be more accurate. Therefore, you will be using that. But
एक्सक्यूज मी सर,
जी please.
अच्छा सर, ये लमसम का जहाँ तक है ताल्लुक, तो लमसम में सारी, अगर किसी ने 5 स्टार होटल बनवाना है तो अपनी डिटेल वो देगा ना, मुझे इतने इसमें रूम्स चाहिए, इतने इसमें फला फायर फाइटिंग का सिस्टम चाहिए, इसमें मुझे एसी चाहिए, सारा वो डिटेल बताएगा, ठीक है। तो फिर उसकी एस्टिमेशन होगी पहले, तो फिर उसके बाद ही वो आइडिया दे सकता है ना।
लमसम एस्टिमेट उस वक्त होता है जब आपकी रिक्वायरमेंट भी क्लियर नहीं होती, ठीक है ना। मिसाल के तौर पे आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक अप माई माइंड टू कंस्ट्रक्ट अ 5 स्टार होटल and I am not basically having any requirements or map in my mind. So what are the basic or minimum requirements for a 5 star hotel? Based on that, the lump sum will be created. But then we will go into more detail and then we will refine our estimate.
Right, sir.
So this depends when are you estimating. If you are estimating too far earlier, then probably this is a lump sum estimate. Then if you are initiating a project, that is a rough order of magnitude. If you are creating your budgetary estimate, then probably you are the person who is assigning the budget, and definitive estimate is being created by the project manager. It is the most detailed estimate. So as we go down, more accuracy is there, but none of these is 100% accurate. Even definitive estimate has a fluctuation possibility of -5% and +10%. Having said all that, these all are just approximations, no matter what, but nothing is cast on stone. So these are just heuristics, and project to project you may redefine the limits which are written here. Maybe in your project, you say my lump sum estimate is not going to be -50 to 100%. It is going to be -60 to 180%. So it all depends what you set. But these are general heuristics which are considered by most of the projects. Okay, sources of input. Sources of input information are derived from the outputs of the processes in other knowledge areas. So what is coming to your estimation from other knowledge areas? What are you considering things coming into it? Once received, all of this information will remain available as inputs to all of the cost management processes. A cost estimate is a quantitative assessment of the likely cost for resources required to complete the activity. And when I say resources, that means all kinds of resources. This could be a time resource, this could be a human resource, this could be a non-living resource, material or machine or anything. Cost estimates may be presented at the activity level or in a summary form. So you can estimate for every activity. I'm talking about the detailed estimate. You can you can create the estimate for every activity, or you can even go down and have the summary cost of the activity within an activity, you can divide it into further categories of summarization. What should be included and what should not be included? The inclusions are like the labor, naturally the human resource, materials with raw material and all that, equipment, services, facilities, and maybe sometimes the special categories like inflation allowance for inflation, cost of financing. Cost of financing is, the interest you have to pay for loans and everything, and contingencies cost. All this must be considered. So when you are estimating, consider each and everything which will cost. Assessment and presentation. A cost estimate is a quantitative assessment of the likely cost for resources required to complete the activity. Cost estimate may be presented at the activity level or in a sum form, as I just said. So, what are the inputs, tools, and techniques, and the outputs? Again, I would like to refer you to the estimate activity duration. When we were estimating the activity duration, we were using almost the same tools. Almost the same tools. So, tools and techniques are very similar. Inputs are very similar. Outputs are also very similar with small little differences. So here we have the project management plan. We don't need charter here. Charter was only required for the development of the management plan, and all the management plans will require the charter, the project management plan, enterprise environmental factors, and organizational process assets. But for estimating the cost, our resources, our duration, we need the project management plan, relevant items included, project documents, relevant items included, enterprise environmental factors, and organizational process assets. So major classification will remain the same, but naturally for cost estimate, the major instrument in project management plan is my cost management plan, which includes all the guidelines for creating the cost estimates. Then is the quality management plan, because I have to consider and cater for the cost of quality. And then the scope baseline I have to keep in mind. From project documents, I am receiving the lessons learned register, the project schedule which has been created already, resource requirements, and the risk register, and naturally the enterprise environmental factors and organizational process assets. What I am going to produce as a result of this process is the cost estimate itself, and it is not only the cost estimate, but for everything I have estimated, I have to provide another document which will be providing the basis for estimate. Basis of estimate will include all the calculations and reasoning how the cost estimates were reached, and naturally certain project documents will be updated as a consequence of that, and that would be assumption log, the lesson learned register, and the risk register, etc. Now coming back to the tools and techniques, we have the similarity with the schedule, the time activity duration estimate. Like expert judgment was there, it is here also. Then we have analogous estimating. Then in duration, we were doing the analogous estimating for the duration of the project. Now we are doing the same for the cost of the project. We take on the analogy from another project, and in proportion to that, we try to ascertain the estimate for analogous estimate for this activity. Similarly, we could have a parametric estimating, like you are constructing a house and it says for A1 class house, you have to spend minimum 2400 rupees per square foot. That is a minimum. For a A1 standard house, you have to spend approximately 2400 rupees per square foot. So how much is the square foot you are going to be constructing? Multiply it by 2400. That will give you an approximate rate. This 2400 rupees includes the cost of everything, right? So, and if you are going for even better, so maybe it is 3000 rupees per square foot. So that is a parametric estimate. And once you multiply it with your covered area, it becomes your parametric estimate. There is a bottom-up estimation, that is uh, considering each and every activity individually and what all are the ingredient expenses for each activity. Those are estimated from bottom up. You estimate for each activity separately and then sum up all the estimates, and that will give you the total estimate for the project. Then you do the data analysis. Naturally, you may have a number of alternatives open to you. Identify those alternatives and shortlist which alternative is most suitable. Add some reserve analysis to it. Consider the cost of quality, and ultimately, by doing all these analyses, you will be coming up with a workable estimate for your project. Project management information system, if you are using any, would be very helpful in providing you the data and information and for recording them. Decision making, where there is a conflict, you may have to make a decision, and voting is a very good tool when all the team members they will have to gain a consensus. So voting could be of many types. So voting can be one of the ways of selecting the best answer. Outputs I have already described. So let us see now each one of these inputs, tools, techniques, and outputs. In inputs, you can see we have got that many things. Let's focus on tools and techniques. Expert judgment about the estimating the cost. We should have that expert judgment about experts on cost and estimating. Those people can help us, or even the technical people who are involved in construction work or whatever we are doing. Analogous estimating, as I have told you, this is the analogy uh, from the previous projects. Parametric estimation is a heuristic, a statistical relationship between the relevant historical data and other variables. Bottom-up estimation is a method of estimating a component of work. Each component of work you estimate separately and then sum them all up. This is your bottom-up estimating. Three-point estimating is just like we said in the schedule estimation, that activity duration estimation, that we will have three estimates for each. One is optimistic, most likely, and then the pessimistic. Now, why are we doing that? We are doing that for, again, same purposes. If there is more uncertainty in your project, then we will have to resort to three-point estimation. Reserve analysis, for, as I have said earlier also, reserve analysis does not mean that you keep a reserve of 10% on the whole of the project. That is no way of doing the reserve analysis. Reserve analysis is you analyze each and every activity and ascertain the value of, due to its complexity and the size of that activity, uh, how much should be kept reserved for that activity. Some activities will require more reserve than others, so you cannot have a single rule applied to all activities. Some of the activities may not require any reserve at all, and some activities may require quite a bit of a reserve. It is not always 10%. Maybe there has to be 100% reserve for certain activities. Like you see, if I have to deal with something which is in very small units, like I have to say I have to buy sand. So sand could be something which is in very small parts. So I can always say that I need 10% extra sand. That could be accommodated. But if I am buying a chair, how could it be 10% extra chair? So naturally, if chair is so important that we cannot live without an alternative, and we need to have another chair, then it is 100% reserve, and we have to keep 100% more money for another chair if this activity is so important that we cannot miss out on having this chair. So you have to have different uh, reserves for different activities, and then ascertain those contingencies, and ultimately you can sum it all up to find your total cost of the project. Cost of quality. Cost of quality is about how much are you ready to spend on your quality. If you don't spend any money on quality, quality will get your money spent at the end. Because of the error or poor quality, you will have to pay through your nose. Therefore, this is always a good idea to be proactive and take precautionary measures, preventive measures much earlier than the quality goes bad. Project management software is required, information system. The output will be the cost estimate, and as we said, the basis of estimate. Cost estimate is the simple summation of all the individual estimates, which gives you the overall cost estimate of the whole project. And basis estimate will include all the supporting documents. These are the documents of the basis of the estimate, documents of the assumptions, documents of any known constraints, indication of any range possible estimates, or indication of the confidence level of the final estimate. And finally, you update the project documents. This brings us to determine budget. Uh, if you have any questions so far. Okay, if there are no questions, I would like to have a break for about 5 minutes and I'll just get back to you. So please hold fast. Right, yeah, I'm back. So we were talking about the next step we had to start, determine budget. For determining budget, this is, as I said before, determine budget is not the job of the project manager or his team. These are people external to the project and internal to the organization. These are people from maybe the finance department, or some people assigned by the project sponsor, who will review the estimates given by the project manager and his team, and they will discuss with them uh, the basis of estimate, and will try to find any mistakes in that, or the aggregations they will check and see if the calculations have been done right, and they will try to reduce the cost as much as is possible without harming the scope of the project. Naturally, these people who are determining the budget, they must also have some idea of how the estimation is to be done. So they will create their own estimate, and this estimate is called the budgetary estimate, which we studied. Though it is not as detailed as the estimate project manager is creating, and that is the definitive estimate. It is not a definitive estimate these budgetary people provide. They provide a budgetary estimate which is not as accurate, but still they have a fairly good idea how much should be acceptable. So, for example, the estimate in their mind, according to their calculation, is 100,000 rupees. So, what was the limit? So, there was the variance of minus 10 plus 25%. So, they are expecting project manager's estimate to be around 100,000. This makes sense, that because our estimate is 100,000, so project manager should be coming up with something around it. So, how much closer to the this estimate is project manager is what matters for budgetary people to decide whether it is good enough or not. And what is their limit of acceptance? Project manager's estimate should remain between minus 10 and plus 25%, and if it is so, they will be all right with it. But if you exceed the range of minus 10 and plus 25, probably budgetary people are going to be much troubled. They will not be, taking this as a good estimate, and they will question everything as to understand why their estimate is not very much like the project manager's estimate. Maybe project manager has done some mistake, or maybe they have done some mistake in their estimation. Both ways, this has to be debated, this has to be understood, and a consensus has to be gained. This is not the role of the budgetary estimate people to impose their budget onto the project manager. They will have to discuss it with the project team, and they will both try to convince through their reasoning, and whomsoever is on the right path probably will convince the other party, and ultimately a consensus is gained based on which the budgetary budget is being determined. While you determine the budget, once the budget has been determined and agreed by both parties, the people who created the budget and people who are going to be assigning this budget, only then the cost estimate matters no more, because now it has been justified that this amount is enough for doing this job, and therefore the budget will become our baseline, and budget is according to which the project will be done. So if a project manager and his team has committed some mistake of calculation, of summation, or anything, they will be those mistakes will be highlighted, because your estimates are going to be checked by the people who are assigning the budget, who are determining the budget. So they are going to check your estimates, which you will provide to them, and they will come up with certain areas where they have questions, and if there is a mistake, then you may have to agree to that, or you will justify it. I remember there was one similar opportunity. There was a software house to be constructed by government, and we were asked to act as consultants. And when we created the estimate for that software technology park, the estimate was not agreed by the budgetary people. They said this is too much. We said why? So their answer was that we have been involved in many construction activities, and the parametric estimate is normally based on, for a office environment, is normally based on, say, an amount of 4,000 rupees per square foot, which is a very high amount, but I'm just giving you an example. For example, 400 rupees, 4,000 rupees per square foot, and this software technology park is going to be this much square feet, and therefore it should not exceed this much. But your estimate is 50% more, which is objectionable, and therefore we don't agree. So you convince us. So their argument was good. We agreed with that their estimation is based on some sound reasoning. So we got back and we started our detailed calculations once again, and we found out why is it different from what they are saying. What is so different about a normal office building and a software technology park? And there we learned that a software technology park is not only an office, but it carries the provision of high speed data lines and fibers and all that. High speed data lines were reaching each and every office on every floor, and the cost of those lines were not included for normal office building. And this estimate, we took it to them, and we told them, yes, you are right, office building can be constructed in this much money, but this money is not for the office building alone. This is the estimate for the fiber and all the internet connectivity, each and every office in this building. So therefore, this estimate is this much. You want, we can separate this estimate to from the office building side, and then office building will cost the same. But the remaining estimate is for the cables, and that you can estimate yourself. So once we gave this argument, they agreed. They agreed, and ultimately they allocated that budget to us. So this was just one example. So there was a question here somewhere. Sufyan or Shahryar Bhatti? Somebody raised hand.
यस सर
जी
यस
Shahryar.
सर
जी.
सर ये नॉर्मली आईसीटी प्रोजेक्ट्स में सर हमने यही देखा हुआ है कि इवन की जो बजटरी टीम भी होती है वो इनपुट हमसे ही लेती है
हाँ हाँ
आई मीन कि क्या आपका एस्टिमेट है तो उनका कोई ऐसा कोई वर्किंग नहीं होती अनलेस कि उनके कोई कंसल्टेंट्स उनको कुछ एस्टिमेट बता दें, वो एक अलग बात है। तो वो
उनकी
यानी उनके उनके पास कोई ऐसा कोई टेक्निकल इंफॉर्मेशन इतनी
नहीं
ज्यादा नहीं
होती.
होती,
यस, देर
लेकिन
देर
वो चैलेंज जरूर करते हैं कि वो
हाँ, चैलेंज जरूर करते हैं. देर एस्टिमेट इज लाइक
सा-
जो कहते हैं ना, वो टेक्निकल नहीं होता. वो टेक्निकल एडवाइस ले सकते हैं, लेकिन वो टेक्निकल नहीं होता. दैट इज मोर पैरामीट्रिक इन नेचर.
लेकिन सर अब आजकल ये हो रहा है खास तौर पे टेलीकॉम में, आई मीन इसको मैं ग्लोबल एग्जांपल तो नहीं दे सकता क्योंकि कॉस्ट कटिंग की काफी चीज है, रेवेन्यू ड्रॉप हो रहा है, तो हमें प्री डिफाइंड प्री डिटरमिन्ड बजट आ जाता है ऊपर से, ये हमारा बजट है, इसमें करें आप।
ठीक है,
तो वो ज्यादा बार्गेनिंग का रूम भी नहीं होता जो है उसमें।
तो उसमें फिर आप
तो
एजाइल में
उसमें
चले जाते हैं ना. देन यू गो ऑन एजाइल.
आई मीन उसमें कुछ कॉम्प्रोमाइज या ट्रेड ऑफ करना पड़ता है, ऑफ कोर्स
हाँ
आपको
हाँ, करना पड़ता
100%
है.
तो वो चीज नहीं
लेकिन आप
मिलती,
एजाइल हो जाते हैं ना.
लेकिन
आप कहते हैं जी ओके ठीक है, हम इतना काम करते हैं और आप काम के हिसाब से पेमेंट करते जाए. जब पैसे खत्म हो जाए बता देना. तो
सही
वो
है,
आइट्रेशन वाइज चलना शुरू कर देते हैं. अनसर्टेनिटी हाई होने की वजह से ये करना पड़ेगा.
सही।
Right. So in determined budget, this is the process of aggregating the estimated cost of individual activities of work package to establish an authorized cost baseline. Ultimate target is to have an authorized cost baseline. And also remember that the budget is to be allocated down to the activity level. work package or activity level. That's why it is called rolling wave planning. Because when we are, you know, dealing with a tactical level, that is, tactical level is the work package and the activity. When you are going to that much of detail, then this is the estimation. This is the rolling wave planning. So the key benefit is this process is that it determines the cost baseline. Ultimately, once the budget has been agreed, debated and agreed by both parties, that is the time when it is authorized as a cost baseline, and which I explained to you is in a form of a S curve. So determined budget has got almost the same kind of inputs. It has the project management plan and project documents. It also has the business documents, because who are determining the budget, they are also keeping in mind the business case and the benefit management plan. That is important for them, as if they can ensure that the basic business document is being complied upon. Then, if we have been in some kind of agreement with our, we have subcontractor with some people, then those agreements should also be present, and enterprise model factors and organization process assets are required. So in the project management plan, what we require is the cost management plan, the resource management plan, and the scope baseline. In project documents, we need the basis of estimate, the cost estimate, project schedule, and the risk registers. Tools here we require to have the expert judgment about the budgetary estimates and all that. We need to have specialization in cost aggregations, data analysis, reserve analysis. Project team when they were doing their analysis, then they were doing their estimation. They also use the reserve analysis tool from their angle. But these people who are determining the budget, they also have done their reserve analysis on their own. Now, this all have to be debated and reconciled. Historical information reviews will be done. Funding limit reconciliation is a very important thing. Funding limit reconciliation means even if we agree on the budget of each and every activity, the question is when the funding will become available. So financing arrangement for financing is also the subject of the budgetary people, and then when out of that financing, how much money will be released when. This is funding limit reconciliation, and sometimes this changes the whole picture. If I require a certain amount of money to start the project, but that much money is not being made available, then my plan will have to be changed in accordance to whatever is available. As you were saying, sometimes there is less money allocated, so we will plan according to that less money, and we will do only this much job which could be done in that money. Ultimately, maybe the next installment carries a bigger bit of it, and ultimately we will be able to do more. But scope, whatever is the cost baseline, that has to be agreed in advance in predictive projects, especially the waterfall type. But in projects which are agile, there you understand that schedule and cost planning is only, detailed planning is only done at the iteration level or the sprint level, whereas an overall broad plan is there just for the whole project. But that is not really workable. So all the estimations are done down to the iteration level. Ultimately, after having done this, we come up with the cost baseline, which is the S curve. And on the S curve, we mark the project funding requirements, exactly how much money will be made available at what time, in how many installments. And naturally, our cost baseline is aligned to that project funding requirement. And the project documents will be updated, cost estimates, project schedule, and risk register, etc. They will all be updated accordingly. Project budget includes all the funds authorized to execute the project. So everything, there should not be anything outside of this budget. Everything included is called the project budget. The cost baseline is the approved version of the time-phased project budget. According to the funding limit reconciliation, this much money, this much spending, this much money, this much spending, and ultimately all the work which has to be done is covered under the cost baseline, and then there is some reserve kept by the top level management, which is called the management reserve, that is on top of the cost baseline. And cost baseline, which is the cost of all the work, plus the management reserve, is equal to the project budget. The total project budget is cost baseline plus management reserve. Management reserve is never given to the project until and unless it is approved by the top level management, and naturally that would happen only after all the reserves within the project and the contingencies have been exhausted, right? Only then project manager will be requesting funds from the management reserve, and it will be the will and wish of the top level management to whether release those management funds or not. So these were the inputs. Cost baseline, we will have a scope statement and work breakdown structure and WBS dictionary in it. Cost estimates, basis for estimate as we discussed, so that we know all these things. In tools and techniques, we have a tool for cost aggregation, and cost aggregation is checking the totals, summing up all the activities upwards and checking if everything is correctly estimated. So this is more of a calculation check. Reserve analysis from the determined budget point of view is at what level, what budget, what reserve they have assumed. Naturally, there was one reserve which was kept by the project manager, and there is one reserve which is determined by the budget people, and they may have to reconcile it with the project manager, and justify that whatever the project manager is saying, this must be the estimate for this must be the reserved for this activity. Then project manager has to justify why he has kept that much percentage. So naturally, again, we will have to refer to the calculations he have made and the basis of estimate he has provided. In some ways, we will also be looking at the expert judgment, historical relationships, and naturally the funding limit reconciliation. Cost aggregation is simply the sum up of all the work packages, and they are just all totaled up to find the total sum total of the project cost. Reserve analysis, as I explained to you earlier, expert judgment in relevant areas, and historical information that results in parametric estimate or analogous estimate, because they are actually going to be using more of parametric estimation and analogous estimating, because they do not have that much of technical knowledge. So they will simply take on the broad categories of estimation, and they will try to estimate accordingly. But then naturally there is going to be debate with the project manager and his team. Funding limit reconciliation, the expenditure of funds should be reconciled with any funding limits on the commitment of the funds for the project. The variance between the funding limits and the planned expenditure will sometimes necessitate rescheduling of the work to level out the rate of expenditure. If we have got less money, so we will reduce the work in that period as if to adjust whatever is available. According to that, we will have to readjust our schedule. So we will be coming up with a cost baseline, which is the approved version of the time phase project budget. Time phase project budget is a cost baseline. On top of that is a management reserve, and both of these things put together is called the project budget. So this does not include the management reserve, which can only be changed through formal change control procedure and is used as a basis for comparison to actual results. It is developed as a summation of the approved project budget, approved budgets for the different schedule activities. So we sum up all the activities and we find the total budget of the time phase budget of the project. If you can see this diagram, this will explain a lot many things. Okay. Yes, I hope you can see that. So if I start from the bottom, rightmost side, every activity has been estimated. We also have kept some reserve for every activity according to the need of that activity. Some activities make up a work package, so those say if there are 5 activities which are making up a work package, so those 5 activities along with their contingency reserves, that we sum them up, and that is my work package cost estimate, right? A work package may have many activities, and those activities plus their reserves summed up is called the work package cost estimate. Every work package also keeps some contingency of its own. So in a control account, there are many work packages. All those work packages and their contingency summed up together is called control account. But control account, because this is a finance term, this is an accounting thing, therefore it cannot have its own reserve. So all the control accounts in the project sum up together, they will form the cost baseline. So there is no control account contingency here, no contingency for this. So cost baseline is the time phased estimate for the whole project. This is the money which will be spent on the project. But for the protection of the project, management has kept a management reserve, and if cost baseline and management reserve is put together, that forms the project budget. Are you all clear about how this is made up of? Project activities and their reserves put together forming a work package, work packages and their reserves put together into a control account. All the control accounts put together are the cost baseline, and cost baseline plus management reserve is equal to the project budget. For example, you are constructing a house, wall construction of a room is a work package which has many activities like bricklaying, creating cement, plastering, this and that. So those are the activities. We will have estimate for every activity, and in every activity there might be some reserves. So the whole work package, the wall is my work package. This will sum up to the work package estimate. On the construction of the wall, on this work package, I may have some contingency reserve. So all the walls and all the things in a room is a control account, and this room is a control account. So all the work packages and their contingencies put together makes up the control account, sum of price of the control account. There are many rooms in this house, so all the control accounts, all the rooms put together is forming the cost baseline, and on top of that, management has kept say 15% reserve. So that added to that is called the project budget. I hope that is clear. Okay, if that is clear, look at the next diagram. As I explained yesterday, you might remember that S curve is the natural shape. This black line, S curve, this one I'm talking about, this is the cost baseline, and this has been baselined. So we have determined how the money will be spent cumulatively throughout the life of the project. For example, I draw a line here. So this is at this point, this point is what? This much time has passed. When this much time has passed, this much money should have been spent. Meaning what? The work worth of this much amount should have been done. So this is the planned value at this point. Planned value at this point. So what is the planned value at this point? This much time, this much work must have been done. This point, this much time, this much money should have been, work of this much money which should have been completed. So every point on this cost baseline is the planned value for that exact moment. At this moment, this much money should have been spent. For that matter, not really spent. This much money's worth job should have been completed. This is the present value, planned value, not the present value, planned value for this point. So every point on this S curve is a planned value of that point, and the highest point here is the planned value of the last moment. Last moment is cumulatively the total budget, the total cost baseline's total budget. How much money should have been spent at this point? All the work should have been completed at this point. So this specific point with the topmost point of the S curve is also called BAC. BAC means budget at completion. जी शहरयार.
सर ये थोड़ा सा डायग्राम क्लियर नहीं हुई मुझे। कॉस्ट बेसलाइन जो हमारी प्लान हमने की थी, राइट,
ये वाली
और नीचे एक्चुअल, यस सर, नीचे वाली जो डॉटेड लाइन है वो एक्चुअल एक्सपेंडिचर है जो कि
उसको
बजट
ना
पे चल
लिखिए,
रहा है।
उसको भी भूल जाए,
तो अच्छा
फॉरगेट अबाउट इट.
ठीक है,
आप सिर्फ इसको हार्ड लाइन
ठीक
को
है,
देखें, ब्लैक लाइन. दिस इज योर कॉस्ट बेस लाइन.
ठीक है।
ठीक है जी.
और बीएसी का सर आप बता रहे थे कि वो क्या है,
देखिए,
बजट
दिस cost baseline, the S curve is rising continuously in a S type format, in a S type flow. It is rising up to a extreme point. So we can say that this much money should have been spent by, this much money should have been spent by now, and the top point is the total BAC budget, right? So this is the last point of planned value. This is the total planned value for the project, right?
राइट सर। और सर लेफ्ट में जो फंडिंग रिक्वायरमेंट्स और
मैं
क्यूमुलेटिव
आ रहा हूँ, मैं
वैल्यूज
आ
वो
रहा
क्या
हूँ.
चीज है?
I'll talk about that. But everybody is clear about this S curve. S curve is created in planning. Cost baseline, when it is established, this S curve has been determined. So every point on this S curve is the planned value for that point. Take a point, any point on this S curve, this point. Just look down, this much time, by this much time, this much money should have been spent. This much time, this much money should have been spent. So these are all the planned values, and the highest planned value is naturally the total budget of the project. So this total budget is the time phase budget is this much. This is highest point is called budget at completion. Are you all okay with this point, this S curve, the planned value? Every point is a planned value, and the highest point is called budget at completion. Everybody is
यस
comfortable?
सर।
Okay, right. Now let me come over to the funding requirement, the stairs-like setup on top of your S curve. This is how the funding is going to be released. They say that they will allocate this much funding in the beginning of the project, which should be sufficient for you for this much time, right? At this time, you will be exhausted of this money. Then we will give you another installment, which will be sufficient for this much time. Then another installment, which should be enough for this much time. Then another installment, which should be enough for your remaining project. But if you could not complete your project, we will allocate some fund from the management reserves, and that would be until the project completes. Are you with me? Are you okay with the
यस सर।
concept of funding requirement? Do you understand what is management reserve? The line below management reserve is BAC. From bottom till this point is the BAC, budget at completion. So this is the total money which is supposed to be run on the time phased budget. Time phase budget means all the activities of this project will be done in BAC. But BAC is the budget at completion. And on top of that, management reserve is there, and that could also be allocated to you in case you could not complete it in BAC. Then an additional funding requirement would release that fund to you to complete the remaining project. But within your BAC, you will have various installments of funding coming to you, and that would be sufficient for that much time. Fine? Okay. Now coming over to the expenditure line. Now what happens is, this was what we planned. The cost baseline was what we planned. And actually what will happen with you is going to be the dotted line. Maybe this project could not start at the prescribed time. It started, say, 2 weeks later. So the S curve started from that point onwards. So actually you are not going in alignment with your cost baseline, but you must continuously keep trying to reach your cost baseline as soon as possible. So you should keep taking measures while you are doing your project, and your expenditures will be shown here, and you will try to come up to the level where your S curve is. As soon as you touch your S curve, that means you have caught up with it. But then you probably, your project, because it started late, it is going to extend beyond time and therefore may require more funding. And that's why this new line, the dotted line, is not ending where the BAC is. If we can somehow manage it to finish or end at this BAC point, that is fantastic, because that way we would not have spent anything extra. But in case we have to spend anything extra, this will come to a new point of finish, and this new point of finish is called estimate at completion, EAC, estimate at completion, and that is my projected value or my forecast. How do I come up with this forecast? Is that I calculate in the line. This is my plan. This is my this dotted line shows my earned value. I have, for example, this is the dot. This is what I have done. This much job I have done, right? Can you see the dot? And this much I have done, and how much should I have done? Should I have done is this much. So we are short by this time. This much work we have done less. So I will try to catch up in the next progress update. Say that is this point. So by this point, I would like to bring this line of expenditure up to the cost baseline. Actually, there are going to be 3 lines running. One line is the cost baseline. In addition to the cost baseline, there will be 2 lines running. One would show the earned value, how much work has been done, and another line would be the actual cost, that is how much money has been spent. I'll be showing you in more detail, but for the time being, if you have understood the basic concept, what is the cost baseline, what is funding requirement, what is management reserve, what is BAC, what is EAC. So this much is enough for this diagram. I'll explain remaining things a little later. Okay. So funding requirements I have talked about, project updates and all. Okay. Let us now talk about the control cost, which is the last process of costing. Control cost is the process of monitoring the status of the project to update the project cost and managing changes to the cost baseline. Actually, cost baseline is how we planned things should happen. How we plan how the money will be spent, how the work will be done. But actually what will happen is not going to be exactly in alignment with the cost baseline, and therefore we would have done less or more work, we would have spent less or more money, and we would control it through finding where we should have been and where we are, and how much is the gap or the variance, how to bridge that variance, how to bring the project back on track, according to schedule as well as cost. So there are two things I have to monitor here. Schedule, am I in alignment with my schedule? Am I spending as much as I should have spent? So these two things will determine how well I'm doing my project. And then I will draw some conclusions. I will do some trend analysis. I will make projections and calculate some forecasts, which will tell me how much more money I need to complete the project and how much more time I need to complete this project. So the inputs, again, project management plan, which this time includes the cost management plan, the cost baseline, performance measurement baseline, and the project documents, which includes the lessons learned register. Project funding requirement is a major input here. And because it is a control, it will get from execution work performance data as well. And organizational process assets are required. Enterprise environmental factors are not required for this. In control cost, we will naturally be using the expert judgment and various data analysis tools. And these are exactly those tools which I have been mentioning to you: earned value analysis, variance analysis, trend analysis, reserve analysis. All of these different kinds of analysis will be done. And based on that, I would suggest changes to the project to bring it back on track. And there is yet another thing which is called to complete performance index, and ultimately project management information system is also used here. Resultantly, the work performance data we received will be converted into work performance information, which will be sent to monitor and control project work. Forecasts we have calculated for cost will also be sent to the same place, monitor and control project work. Change request, if any, will be sent to integrated change control, and project management plan and project documents will be updated according to whatever document has been changed, like the cost management plan, cost baseline, or performance measurement baseline. In case of project management plan and project document, we will be updating the assumption log, basis for estimate may also change, cost estimate may also change, lesson learned register may also change, risk register may also change. But the cost baseline, if changed, would impact the subsequent future working of the project, because now the new cost baseline will be created. The S curve will be amended according to whatever the changes have been brought in, if the change request is approved. Okay, updating the budget requires knowledge of actual costs spent to date. So for doing that, I should know how much money has actually been spent on ground on the project. This is the important data. Any increase to the authorized budget, the money which I should have spent, if I have spent more than that or even less than that, both are variances. If I have spent more than that, can only be approved through a proper perform integrated change control process. So it is a case of a change request. Monitoring the expenditure of funds without regard to value of work being accomplished for such expenditure has little value to the project. If I am just monitoring the funds, how much funds have been expended, that doesn't mean that much job has been done. Maybe you have been losing money in something else, but you are charging the project for that. And actually, no progress has been made on the project. So what does that mean? You have spent the money, but you have not actually worked. So we also have to keep an eye on how much work has been accomplished, how much money has been spent, and how much work has been accomplished. And we already have the planned value, how much work should have been done by how much time. This is already known. That is the PV, planned value, how much money should have been spent for achieving how much work. This is we decided in planning, in our budget. Now in control, I am having two more data items. One is how much money has been spent and how much work has been done. So these two items I'll be comparing with my planned value and see whether I am ahead of schedule behind schedule, or I am overspending or underspending. So this I have to somehow determine. Much of the effort of cost control involves analyzing the relationship between the consumption of project funds to the physical work being accomplished. The money being spent, is it exactly according to what work has been done? If less work has been done and more money is being spent, then that is objectionable. The key to effective cost control is the management of the approved cost baseline as the changes to that baseline. So if there is a change, if something is not happening exactly according to the plan, then it is a fit case for change request. Project cost control includes influencing the factors that create the changes to the authorized cost baseline. Somehow we want to reduce those items which are impacting or which are increasing my cost. Ensuring that all change requests are acted on in a timely manner. We should not sleep over something which is going wrong. We must immediately take action, otherwise that small little issue may become a big problem. Managing the actual changes when and as they occur. Ensuring that cost expenditures do not exceed the authorized funding of by period, by WBS component or by activity or in total for the project. So it should not exceed. This is alarming situation. Monitoring cost performance to isolate and understand variances from the approved cost baseline. Monitoring work performance against funds expended. Preventing unapproved changes from being included in the reported cost or resource usage. Unapproved changes, that is scope creep. If we are working on something which is not approved, then we are doing unauthorized work. Informing appropriate stakeholders of all approved changes and associated costs. So we must keep the system transparent and keep all the relevant stakeholders informed of what is happening and bringing expected cost overruns within the acceptable limits. Then you should also be aware about another terminology which is called responsibility assignment matrix. We'll be using it in resource management chapter. Responsibility assignment matrix is the integration of work breakdown structure and the organizational breakdown structure. I hope you understand the organizational structure, the hierarchy, how the people are set up. So in a project, what is the organizational hierarchy? Project manager, sponsor, project manager, teams, and so on and so forth. And then there is a work breakdown structure. So every work is to be done by someone from the hierarchy of the organization. So which item of the work from WBS is associated with which item of the which person in the OBS, organizational breakdown structure. So if somehow we can associate a relationship between the WBS and OBS, that would give us the responsibility assignment matrix. We would be able to assign people responsible for doing that specific work. Proper creation of the RAM, responsibility assignment matrix, results from locating the intersection of organizational breakdown structure unit that is assigned responsibility for the work and the specific WBS element that defines the work to be performed. Then we have got control accounts. Uh, Control accounts is a level of WBS. It is within the WBS where the work packages are existing. Over and above the work packages, there is another level of control account. That is, maybe in this building, one room is a control account, and whosoever is responsible for supervising the construction of this room may be declared as the control account manager. He would be responsible for the budget of this room in the whole building. So there would be many control account managers in this building, and every control account manager would be accounting for his own room. And every control account manager will have many work packages, and each work package will have many activities. And for every work package, some work package in charge would be there, who would be delivering those work packages. So this control account manager must also be assigned according to the RAM. Who are the control account managers in the whole project? So for which control account manager has been assigned from the organization. So RAM is useful for assigning the responsibilities of these control account managers also. Control cost inputs, as we understand, funding limit reconciliation, funding limit requirements, we understand what they are. Okay, here is the point. Tools and techniques, we have got something to understand. We have to understand the earned value. We have to understand what is forecasting, what is trend analysis, what is reserve analysis. So all of these things we have to talk in detail now. Let's come over to the earned value management first. Earned value management is a methodology that combines scope, schedule, and resource measurement to assess project performance and progress. It is a commonly used method of performance measurement for projects. It integrates the scope baseline with the cost baseline along with the schedule baseline to form the performance baseline, which helps the project management team assess and measure project performance and progress. It is a project management technique that requires the formation of an integrated baseline against which performance can be measured for the duration of the project. The principles of earned value management can be applied to all projects in any industry. Earned value management develops and monitors three key dimensions for each work package and control account. And I will be talking about those three key dimensions. Are you ready for the earned value? Any questions so far? Ji Janab, any questions? Okay, in earned value management, we have got three terms which are most famously used. One I have already exposed to you is called the planned value. Planned value, as I said before, this is a point on S curve. So for that moment in time, that is the planned value. That says that this much worth of work should have been done by this much time. So every point on S curve is a planned value, and the highest point on the curve, the last day's planned value, would be the budget at completion. Are you agreed with me? जी बोलिए हफीज यासिम जी जनाब. Can you explain planned value, Asim? I told you yesterday how the S curve is formed, right? So this is a cumulative graph of the expenditures, how they should be done during the life of a project, and that will generally form a shape of a S curve. Any point on this S curve is my planned value. That means that at that point in time, this much worth of job should have been done. This much activities which have a budgeted value of PV should have been done. I want to understand if you are understanding everything. If you do not understand it, I cannot move forward. Ji, please. Nobody wants to contribute? Acha, anybody who can tell me what earned value is? Anyone?
सर अर्नड वैल्यू बेसिकली जो अभी तक समझ आई है आपकी जो है प्लान्ड वैल्यू माइनस एक्चुअल वर्क होना चाहिए।
हाँ, प्लान वैल्यू वो तो मैं बात करता हूँ, बट अर्नड वैल्यू है क्या?
यानी कि सर बेसिकली आप स्केड्यूल और कॉस्ट को आपस में कंपेयर करते हैं, आपने कितना वर्क एक्चुअली कर लिया अगेंस्ट द
नहीं,
कॉस्ट।
कंपेयर तो बाद में करेंगे ना, पहले तो बताएं अर्नड वैल्यू है क्या। कंपेयर तो अर्नड वैल्यू के साथ करते हैं, बट जी अजीम आप बताइए अर्नड वैल्यू आपके हिसाब से क्या है?
सर आसान लफ्जों में तो ये है कि जितना हमने प्लान किया हुआ था एक्टिविटीज एट व्हाट कॉस्ट एट व्हाट टाइम, क्या
जी
वो हमें अचीव हुआ है या नहीं हुआ। सो इस चीज को डिटरमिन करने का जो प्रोसेस है या इस चीज का जो रिजल्ट है कि हमें वो रिजल्ट टारगेट्स अचीव हुए हैं या नहीं हुए, दैट इज आवर अर्न वैल्यू।
ओके
यानी हमने कितना रिजल्ट अचीव करना था और कितना एक्चुअल में हमें मिला है।
ओके, ये फर्क करें जी, मेरा एस कर्व है और इस एस कर्व में ये मेरा टाइम चल रहा है और ये मेरी कॉस्ट चल रही है और ये मेरा जनाब बजट का कम्युलेटिव वैल्यूज चल रही है कि थ्रू आउट द लाइफ ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट दिस इज हाउ इट इज गोइंग टू टर्न आउट बाय दिस पॉइंट। By this point measure this distance. By this time I should have spent this much money on the work I am supposed to do. Meaning what? This is also called the budgeted cost of work scheduled. जिस वक्त प्रोजेक्ट का स्केड्यूल बनाया गया, at that time it was determined that this much work will be done and this much budget was allocated to that job, right? So PV is the allocated budget for that much work. So PV is that much work, it is representing that much work for which a specific budget which is represented by this PV point. Whatever is the value of this PV point, maybe it is 4,000 rupees. 4,000 rupees worth of work should have been done by say 1 month period. At the point of 1 month completion, you should have completed 4,000 worth of job. At say 2 months period, you should have completed 10,000 rupees worth of job. At 3 months, you should have completed 25,000 worth of the work which was associated, and the total budget is say 37,000. So it is a 4-month project, and this is how it is going to turn out. By the end of first month, we should have done the job which has an allocated budget of 4,000. By the end of two months, the total job total work which should have been completed, it has been allocated a budget of 10,000, total 10,000, which includes that earlier 4,000 also. And by the end of third month, it is 25,000 total. Out of the 37,000 project, 25,000 worth of work should have been completed, and BAC is 37,000, meaning that after 4 months when the project completes, it should have it should have completed all the work, and that is worth 37,000 rupees. So these are all the points of earned value. But what happens is, when the first month is complete, you find that you were unable to complete the job. it is not 4,000 worth of work which has been completed. It is just say 3,000 worth of job which has been completed. You promised to complete 4,000 worth of work by the end of 1 month, but what you earned, what you accomplished is only 3,000. So your earned value, what you fulfilled, is 3,000 so far. 4,000 was your planned value at that point, and 3,000 is your earned value actually by this point, because that point is past now. At that point, you could achieve only that much job which has a budget of 3,000. Got it? By the end of second month, you could accomplish say 7,000. You are again not meeting the target. You have done less job worth 3,000. You only accomplished job worth 7,000 rupees, whereas your target was meeting 10,000. So your PV at this point, PV2 was 10,000, and EV2 you achieved was 7,000. Again, you are behind the schedule. By the end of third month, you achieved 24,000. 24,000. So your EV3 is 24,000 and your PV3 is 25,000. Right? Again, you are less. You have not met your target. And last is, say, you have 35,000. So your EV4 is 35,000 while your PV4 is 37,000. So you see, you consistently are lacking behind on your schedule. You are not meeting the targets, right? So this shows only one thing, and that is you are consistently behind schedule. Although we are talking in terms of money, but we are not talking about money. We are talking about performance. We are talking about schedule. You had to meet target of 4,000 worth of work. You have only done 3,000 worth of work. You are 1,000 worth of work uh, behind the schedule. So if somehow I can compare these two values at any point, PV1 with EV1, then I am behind by 1,000 in the first month, right? So the difference between PV and EV, the difference between PV and EV is my schedule variance. My schedule variance is the difference between PV and EV. So what is the difference between PV and EV on first month? The quick response.
1,000.
1,000. Are you behind or ahead of schedule?
Behind.
Is it good or bad?
Bad.
So bad is signified by a negative sign. So your SV is minus how much?
1,000.
Minus 1,000 is your schedule variance. So how did you find it? What is the formula to calculate SV? Azim, can you tell me?
PV minus EV.
Okay. PV माइनस EV तो हो गया 4,000 माइनस 3,000, ये तो प्लस 1,000 आ गया, ये तो गलत हो गया।
हाँ, गलत हो गया। EV minus PV.
Very good, very good. Now you are making sense. So this is EV minus PV. So the standard formula for schedule variance is EV minus PV. So first schedule variance for first month, first earned value minus first planned value is minus 1000. What is the SV at second month? SV2 is
minus
equal to
minus 3000.
minus 3000. SV3 is equal to
It's 24 and 25 minus 1000.
minus 1000. And SV4 is equal to
Minus 2000.
minus 2000. Is everybody getting this? So we are, minus means behind schedule, behind schedule, behind schedule. So we are consistently behind schedule. Our schedule variance is consistently negative. So we are very bad in maintaining the schedule. So far, I have not talked about the actual cost, how much money we are actually spending on ground. I have not talked about that, right? I only talked about the schedule variance. And the figures I have is minus 1000, minus 3000, minus 1000, minus 2000. This only shows me that I am behind schedule. But the figure which I am getting, minus 1000, 3000, 1000, 2000, that number, does it matter anything? 3000 is a big figure. Does it matter?
Yes.
It may, but basically it is uncomparable because the values are being cumulative, and when I take out 3000 at 10,000, that is compared with 10,000. When I'm taking out comparing with 4,000 the first month, out of 4,000, 1,000, out of 10,000, I am having a variance of 3,000, out of 25,000, I am a variance of only 1,000. So it is not really determinable. You see, 1,000 against 25,000 is probably a very good figure, right? Whereas 3,000 against 10,000 might be a bad figure. You see, you can't really put a face to it, but you only understand one thing for sure, that negative is bad. So if you are standing at first month and you see that your team is performing below the level of performance as far as the schedule is concerned, probably you should have pushed them to work harder on their schedule, and they should have improved their performance in the second month. If you had these figures, if you could analyze this, you could have pushed your team to work harder on their schedule, and maybe they could have reached nearer to 10,000, or maybe reached that level of 10,000. So by doing this, they would have accomplished whatever has been lost earlier. But that correction was not properly made, and ultimately the things are quite hectic. They are random. Things are just happening, and I am trying to catch up. Okay, to give a bit more sense to this, we will use another way. You see, if I have two projects, on one project I have a variance of schedule variance of minus 1000. On another project I have got a schedule variance of minus 10,000. Which project is going well?
First one with minus
apparently
1000.
apparently yes, but actually you don't really know, because you don't know the total budget for each project. Without
Yes.
knowing that, what if the budget for the other project is in millions, and for that project 10,000 is just nothing? Therefore, schedule variance is not a very good indicator. The only indication this is giving me is whether I am behind or ahead of schedule. To give it more value, more sense, let us use another indicator which is called schedule performance indicator. Actually, what we are doing here is we are just finding the comparison of EV and PV. EV divided by PV. Simply we have changed the formula. we have found the ratio between EV and PV. If EV and PV are equal, the answer will be 1. That means we are on schedule. If EV is more than PV, that is we are ahead of schedule. We have done more than what was expected. EV is more and PV is less. PV is what I should have done and EV is what I have done. I have done more than what was expected, then my answer will be more than 1.1, more than 1, anything more than 1. But if I have underperformed, like in this case, then my value will always be less than 1. That means any answer which is equal to 1 or more than 1 is okay. Anything less than 1, anything starting with a 0 will be bad. So in this case, what is the value I am getting when I put EV 3000 on top and PV 4000 on bottom? 3000 by 4000 is equal to what? 3000 divided by 4000 is equal to
0.75.
0.75. So this is more like it, because now I can compare them apple to apple. 0.75 is my SPI of first month. What is the SPI for the second month? That would be EV2 by PV2. EV2 is 7000 and PV2 is 10,000. 7 by 10. 7,000 by 10,000.
0.7.
Ji? Not
0.7.
Not 0.7.
Hmm?
No.
7.
7,000 by 10,000.
0.7. This is 0.7.
Are you sure?
Yes.
मेरा दिल नहीं मानता. पूरा 7,000 डिवाइड बाय 10,000 करें ना.
जी 0.7 आ रहा है.
ओके.
7 डिवाइड बाय 1 वो हो गया ना.
हाँ ठीक है.
7 डिवाइड बाय 10.
Okay. 0.7. So your result has decreased from 0.75 to 0.7. So you are what is the trend establishing? You are worsening. Initially you were 0.75, now you are 0.7, even worse, right? Can you see the trend? This is called trend analysis. My first SPI was 0.75, second SPI was 0.7. So I have worsened by 0.05. Now let us see what is my third SPI. What was my
24,000 divided by 25,000.
24 by 25?
0.96.
Wonderful. So we have increased 0.75, 0.7, then 0.96. 0.96, right? And what is the last one?
0.94. 35,000 divided by 37.
Right. So that means that on second month, probably somebody has pushed the team to work harder and they have tried their level best to catch up, and they put in the maximum effort between second and third month, and they increased the performance from 0.7 to 0.96. They were very near to coming to 1, but they were slightly deflated in the next month. So what if I had applied the correction immediately after the first month? The second month's EV should have been like 9,000 or 8,000. So it would have shown a lot of improvement, right? So that way I may have crossed EV, the value of PV. EV would have gone more than the PV and my answer would have been 1 or above, ahead of schedule. Got it? जी 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 अजीम।
सर जैसे ये एस कर्व आपने बताया प्लान्ड, ये एक्यूमुलेटिव प्लान बजटिंग है।
जी
इसी
अक्यूमुलेटिव है।
तरह जो अर्न वैल्यू का, जी अर्न वैल्यू का जो डॉटेड कर्व बनता जा रहा है, ये भी
ये भी
एक्यूमुलेटिव
जी
अर्न
जी
वैल्यू है ना?
ये है, ये है,
ओ,
ये है, ये है।
जी, दिस इज आल्सो एक्यूमुलेटिव अर्न वैल्यू।
ये बिल्कुल बिल्कुल ऐसे ही है, ऐसे ही है। ये भी अक्यूमुलेटिव है। And
ओके,
now we talk
थैंक यू।
about another value, and that is the actual cost. At the by the end of one first month, how much money have you spent so far? Irrespective of how much work has been done, how much have you spent by the end of 1 month? For example, your AC comes out to be 6,000. What is the situation in front of you? If I ask you how much is the cost variance, how much is the cost variance, what would you say? जी प्लीज। कॉस्ट वेरिएंस कितनी आ रही है?
सर
Yes,
ये
it will be plan. Yeah, it will be, I think, planned value minus actual cost.
ओके, तो
That is the cost variance.
प्लान्ड वैल्यू थी 4,000 और एक्चुअल कॉस्ट है 6,000। तो आपका ख्याल है कि काम जो होना चाहिए था वो पीवी था और जो खर्च हुआ है वो 6,000 है,
जी
तो 2,000 का फर्क है। ऐसा
हाँ,
ही है।
लेकिन ये अर्न किया किया हमने 3,000 का है।
एग्जैक्टली, दैट इज द पॉइंट। जो काम करना था वो तो किया ही नहीं है। पीवी
जी
तो करना
जी,
था, वो तो आपने किया ही नहीं है।
इट्स
एक्चुअली
जी जी
यू
जी।
डिड जॉब वर्थ ऑफ 3,000, स्पेंडिंग 6,000।
यस,
सो व्हाट इज द
बहुत
फॉर्मूला?
ही नालायक। इट्स
व्हाट इज द
पीवी
फॉर्मूला?
माइनस।
सीवी इज इक्वल टू,
हेलो
हाँ जी, जी
सर, ये
प्लीज,
थोड़ा सा सर ये क्वेश्चन था मेरा।
हाँ जी।
सर ये एसवी और एसी में ये फर्क है, आई मीन
एसवी और
ईवी माइनस एसी में,
देखिए,
एक्चुअल कॉस्ट में।
बेसिक वैल्यूज तीन है, ईवी, पीवी, ईवी और एसी। बेसिक आर these three factors. PV is planned
एसी
value,
इज इक्वल,
AC is the actual cost, right?
एक्चुअल कॉस्ट का क्या फॉर्मूला है इधर? अर्न वैल्यू माइनस पीवी।
नहीं, इसका कोई फार्मूला नहीं होता। ये तो बेसिक टर्म्स है ना, ये बेसिक वेरिएबल्स हैं।
ठीक
पीसी,
है,
पीवी का मतलब है बजटेड कॉस्ट ऑफ वर्क स्केड्यूल्ड।
ठीक
ईवी
है,
का मतलब है बजटेड कॉस्ट ऑफ वर्क परफॉर्म्ड। और एसी का मतलब है एक्चुअल कॉस्ट ऑफ वर्क परफॉर्म्ड। अब जरा इसे गौर कीजिएगा। प्लान्ड वैल्यू, planned value, everything was known during the planning at the time of cost baseline. You had budgeted costs there and you had scheduled work there. So whatever was the total scheduled work, how much was the cost, that is the planned value. For any one point, say at the end of 1 month, how much is scheduled and how much is the budget kept for that. Whatever was scheduled for 1 month, how much was the budget kept for that, that is the planned value for that point. So planned value could be after any dot on the S curve is a planned value. That is, at that point, what is the budgeted cost of work scheduled at that point, till that point. Earned value is budgeted cost of work performed at that point. How much work has you done? And whatever work you have done, what is the budgeted cost for that? Right?
तो सर इसके अंदर ऑलरेडी एक्चुअल कॉस्ट इंक्लूड होनी चाहिए,
नहीं, अभी नहीं है,
क्योंकि
अभी
आपने अब तो
ना 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 ना।
कर दिया
अब
outlook।
मैंने कहा बजटेड कॉस्ट, एक्चुअल कॉस्ट नहीं कहा। मैंने कहा जितना काम आपने कर लिया है ना, जितना भी कर लिया है, उसका बजट में कितना पैसा रखा गया था, उतना काम करने का बजट में कितना पैसा रखा था, राइट? दैट इज माई अर्न वैल्यू। तीसरा सवाल पैदा होता है कि जितना काम हो गया है उसके ऊपर असल में ऑन ग्राउंड आपने कितना पैसा खर्च कर दिया। सो इन दोनों का जो फर्क होगा, कितना खर्च होना चाहिए था, कितना हुआ है, दैट विल बी द कॉस्ट वेरिएंस। ईवी और एसी का फर्क जो होगा वो आपकी कॉस्ट वेरिएंस होगी।
सर ईवी में अभी भी एक क्वेश्चन है सर मुझे कि ईवी के अंदर जब आप ऑलरेडी डिटरमिन कर रहे हैं कि ये एक्चुअल वर्क है बजट में सर,
हाँ जी।
तो इसका मतलब आपकी कॉस्ट तो अकर हो गई राइट बजटेड में?
नहीं, अक्कर नहीं हुई, अक्कर नहीं हुई। देखिए, हमने हमने बजट में रखा हुआ था कि इतना काम महीने में, फर्ज करें 4 एक्टिविटी इस महीने में करनी है,
ठीक है।
और फर्ज कर लेते हैं ऐसी कि 1,000 रुपए की एक एक्टिविटी थी। मैंने 4 नहीं कर सका, मैं 3 कर सका हूं, ठीक है जी। तो बजट में क्या लिखा हुआ है, 3 एक्टिविटीज की कॉस्ट क्या बनती है, 3,000 रुपए। तो मैंने तो 3,000 का टारगेट मीट किया है, 1,000 में पीछे रह गया, नहीं कर सका। सो बजट के हिसाब से एक महीने के एंड पे जो मैंने वर्क परफॉर्म किया उसकी वर्थ बनती है 3,000 रुपए, उसकी प्लान्ड वर्थ ये बनती है, उसकी स्केड्यूल्ड वर्थ ये बनती है, ठीक है? बात समझ आएगी नहीं?
ठीक है सर। ये सर अब एक्चुअल कॉस्ट पे है।
अब मेरा आखिरी सवाल आता है कि भाई ये जो 3 काम आपने किए हैं, इन पे आपने असल में खर्चा कितना कर दिया, कितने पैसे लगा दिया आपने? आपको तो मैंने पैसे रिलीज किए थे इस महीने चारों एक्टिविटीज करने के लिए 4,000 रुपया, आपने मुझसे 2,000 मजीद मांग लिया और 6,000 लेके खर्च कर दिया और काम किया 3,000 का। बात समझ आई? तो इसका मतलब है आप तो दुगना पैसा खर्च कर रहे हैं। सो माई कॉस्ट वेरिएंस वुड बी व्हाट माइनस व्हाट, कॉस्ट वेरिएंस क्या होगी
सर
जी?
एक्चुअल कॉस्ट माइनस अर्न वैल्यू।
अगर 6,000 में से 3,000 निकालूंगा तो मेरा तो जवाब आ जाएगा प्लस 3,000, जो कि अच्छी बात लगती है। ये तो मेरे साथ बुरी बात हुई है, आप तो ओवर एक्सपेंड कर गए हैं। क्या ख्याल है आपका?
ठीक है सर, करेक्ट है।
तो किसमें से क्या निकालूं? व्हाट शुड बी द फॉर्मूला फॉर सीवी? कॉस्ट वेरिएंस का क्या फॉर्मूला होना चाहिए जी? अजीम आप बताइए।
सर अर्न वैल्यू माइनस एक्चुअल कॉस्ट।
एग्जैक्टली। सो अर्न वैल्यू में से एक्चुअल कॉस्ट निकालेंगे तो ये सही बात बनेगी। तो ये याद रख लीजिए, कॉस्ट वेरिएंस का फॉर्मूला है अर्न वैल्यू माइनस प्लान्ड वैल्यू। सो अब मेरे पास एक तीसरी ये भी फिगर आ गया कि जहां मेरी क्या कहते हैं, स्केड्यूल वेरिएंस नेगेटिव जा रही थी, ये भी नेगेटिव जा रहा है। अगर इसको भी हमने थोड़ा और इंसानी रूप देना है तो लेट्स कैलकुलेट सीपीआई, कॉस्ट परफॉर्मेंस इंडिकेटर। इसको भी रेशो में ले आए ताकि थोड़ा सैनिटी में बात की जा सके। कॉस्ट परफॉर्मेंस इंडिकेटर क्या करूं, किससे किसको डिवाइड करूं? कॉस्ट परफॉर्मेंस इंडिकेटर एस्टेब्लिश करने के लिए व्हाट शुड बी द फॉर्मूला? आई हैव टू डिवाइड वन वैल्यू विद अदर। किसको किससे डिवाइड करूं तो मुझे वैल्यू आएगी? भाई सोच लेना, कॉस्ट वेरिएंस में जो दो वैल्यूज थी वही होंगी ना, और तो कुछ हो नहीं सकता। कॉस्ट वेरिएंस में क्या क्या इस्तेमाल किया आपने जी अजीम?
सर जैसे हमने एसपीआई में किया था अर्न वैल्यू डिवाइड बाय प्लान वैल्यू, तो इधर हम अर्न वैल्यू डिवाइड बाय एक्चुअल कॉस्ट करेंगे।
एग्जैक्टली। ये बाकियों को समझ भी आ रहा है कि नहीं आ रहा? दिस इज नॉट डिफिकल्ट, दिस इज वेरी इजी, मगर थोड़ा सा दिमाग को खुला रखने की जरूरत है। ईवी डिवाइडेड बाय एसी करेंगे तो अब क्या आया जी, करें जरा। ईवी 3,000 है, 6,000 नीचे करें, 3,000 डिवाइड बाय 6,000 कम्स आउट टू बी 0.5।
यस।
ठीक है जी, समझ आ रही है ना कि इस
यस।
तरह से हम ये सारी वैल्यूज कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं। अब आपको क्या क्या समझ आ गया आपको, और मजे की बात यह कि ईवी जो है उसका अपना ग्राफ बनना शुरू हो जाएगा। ये तीसरी लाइन बननी शुरू हो जाएगी, वो ईवी की लाइन इधर से जा रही होगी कोई। तो आपने क्या कोशिश करनी है कि ये दोनों लाइनें जो ईवी की और पीवी की है ये किसी तरह से सुकड़ कर आपकी प्लान वैल्यू की लाइन के ऊपर आ जाए। यही आपका मिशन है। थ्रू आउट आप यही कोशिश करते रहेंगे प्रोजेक्ट की लाइफ में कि मैं इस लाइनों को करीब लाऊं और इसको मैं अपने, इसे कहते हैं ब्रिंगिंग द प्रोजेक्ट बैक ऑन ट्रैक। प्रोजेक्ट को ट्रैक के ऊपर लाने की कोशिश मैं कर रहा हूं। अगर वो ट्रैक पे आ जाए तो मैं बिल्कुल वक्त पे काम खत्म कर लूंगा और उतने ही पैसों में जितने में प्लान किया था आई वुड बी एबल टू डू दैट। आई होप कुछ थोड़ी सी सेंस तो आई होगी। अगर आप चाहें तो आपस में इसको डिस्कस कीजिए थोड़ी देर, मैं जरा एक दो मिनट में आ रहा हूं। आप करें, बात करें, आप लोग एक दूसरे के साथ बात करें और समझें इसे। जी जनाब, नो डिस्कशन गोइंग ऑन। अच्छा जी, मैं इसको मिटाने लगा हूँ, मतलब मैं अभी देखिए मैं इसको क्लियर करके तो मैं लिखता हूँ उसके ऊपर ये सारे फार्मूले जो अभी हमने डिस्कस किए हैं। सो वी हैव PV, EV and AC. Schedule variance is equal to, हेल्प कीजिएगा जी मेरी, schedule variance is equal to
EV minus PV.
EV minus PV and cost variance is equal to EV
EV
minus
minus AC.
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 Scheduled performance index is equal to EV
E
divided by
divide
PV,
by
and cost performance index is equal to EV
EV divide by AC.
AC. राइट, ये बेसिक फार्मूले हैं जी हमारे। और अगर ये बातें आपको समझ आ गई हैं तो देर इज वेरी लिटिल लेफ्ट एनी फर्दर। इसकी बुनियाद के ऊपर आप इन चीजों को प्लॉट करके देख सकते हैं और बाकायदा अपने एस कर्व के ऊपर मॉनिटर कर सकते हैं कि आप कितना पीछे जा रहे हैं। उसके बाद इसकी बेसिस के ऊपर, ये तो था आपका वेरिएंस एनालिसिस, ये जो ना स्केड्यूल वेरिएंस, कॉस्ट वेरिएंस, ये आपका वेरिएंस एनालिसिस है। कॉस्ट के हवाले से कॉस्ट वेरिएंस है, कॉस्ट में आप कितना ऊपर या नीचे जा रहे हैं। स्केड्यूल के हवाले से स्केड्यूल वेरिएंस है। फिर उसका हम एक इंडिकेटर निकाल लेते हैं, वो ज्यादा वर्केबल है। उस इंडिकेटर को अगर मैं कंपेयर करूं ओवर सेवरल मंथ्स, तो ये मुझे बताएगा कि हमारा ट्रेंड क्या जा रहा है। मतलब ये है कि आप अगर चाहें तो अपने सीपीआई का ग्राफ बना सकते हैं कि जनाब ये बीच में फर्ज करें ऐसे करके मैं ग्राफ बनाता हूं, ये मेरा जनाब 1 है, ये माइनस है, ये प्लस है। तो पहली दफा मेरा जनाब पॉइंट पे आ गया, यहाँ पे डॉट बन गया, दूसरी दफा यहाँ पे आ गया, तीसरी यहाँ पे आ गया, चौथी दफा यहाँ पे आ गया। सो ये देखें जरा इसको किस तरह से ये लाइन आपकी बन रही है, ये जा रही है, ये जा रही है, ये ट्रेंड बन रहा है कि नहीं बन रहा। तो आप इस ट्रेंड की बुनियाद के ऊपर प्रिडिक्ट, ये आपकी आज की डेट है, आज की डेट हम यहां तक पहुंचे, अगले महीने क्या होने का इम्कान है, क्या आप इस तरफ जाएंगे या आप इस तरफ जाएंगे, क्या आपका प्रोजेक्शन क्या कहता है, तो वो आप अगले महीने का टारगेट असर्टन कर सकते हैं। इसको कहते हैं आपने प्रोजेक्ट करके देख लिया कि अगले महीने हमने क्या टारगेट मीट करना है। और वो किसकी बुनियाद पर, ये पिछला जितना ट्रेंड है उसकी बुनियाद पे। और आमतौर पे होता यही है कि इस ट्रेंड के बीच में से एक लाइन चलाई जाती है और वो आपको बताती है कि अगले महीने हम किस डायरेक्शन में जा रहे हैं। और इसी तरह अगर इस लाइन को मैं चलाते हुए एंड तक ले जाऊं प्रोजेक्ट के, तो दिस विल बिकम माय फोरकास्ट कि मेरा प्रोजेक्ट जो है वो इस टाइम पे या इतने मुद्दत में या इतने पैसों में खत्म होगा। आर यू विद मी ऑन दिस? जी मैं देख रहा हूं लोग कम हो गए हैं, सिर्फ 5 लोग रह गए। कौन कौन गायब हो गया? शहरयार भी गए, बाबर भी गए।
नहीं सर, मैं इधर ही हूँ।
कहाँ हैं आप? अच्छा शहरयार तो इधर ही है, बाबर गायब हो गए। एनीवेज ये बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है जी, मुझे नहीं पता आप लोग इसको कैसे कैचअप करेंगे बाद में। अगर आपको समझ आ रही है तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, मुझे भी तो बताएं ना कुछ समझ आ रही है, ऐसे तो बात नहीं बनती। मैं तो बिल्कुल डार्क में बैठा हूँ, कोई अंदाजा नहीं है मुझे कि आप लोगों के क्या ताल्लुकात है। जी
सर आ रही है समझ।
ओके।
जी समझ आ रही है।
तो यहां हमने क्या बात की, आपको सिर्फ एक इस चार्ट में मैंने बता दिया कि वेरिएंस क्या चीज है, ट्रेंड क्या चीज है, प्रोजेक्शन क्या चीज है और फोरकास्टिंग क्या चीज है। अगर आपको ये लॉजिक समझ आता है, अगर ये लॉजिक समझ आता है तो आपके लिए आगे किसी भी चीज को एस्टिमेट करना मुश्किल नहीं होगा। एक दफा फिर मैं चेंज करता हूं सीन को। अगर आपको ये चीजें समझ आ गई हैं तो मैं आपके सामने एक सिनेरियो रखता हूं।
सर
जी जी।
सर एक चीज, प्रोजेक्शन और फोरकास्टिंग में क्या फर्क है?
प्रोजेक्शन का मतलब ये होता है कि ट्रेंड को देखते हुए इमीडिएटली अगले पीरियड को प्रोजेक्ट करने की कोशिश करना कि उसका क्या रिजल्ट होगा, उस तक हम कहां पहुंचेंगे इमीडिएट अगले महीने या अगले अपडेट साइकिल तक, जो अभी आया नहीं है फ्यूचर में है, उसको प्रोडिक्ट करना। ये मेरा प्रोजेक्शन है। और इसी प्रोजेक्शन को अगर मैं आगे को चलाता चला जाऊं और एंड तक जा पहुंचूं तो दैट इज माय फोरकास्ट।
ओके गॉट इट, थैंक यू।
मैं आपको कुछ वैल्यूज दे रहा हूं। पहला महीना, दूसरा महीना, तीसरा महीना, चौथा महीना, पांचवा महीना, छठा महीना, राइट। हम इस वक्त खड़े हैं जी चौथे महीने के ऊपर, राइट। मेरा पीवी जो मैं आपको वैल्यूज देता हूं, पीवी की वैल्यू है मेरी 5K, 12K, 20K, 37K, 48K, 50K। ठीक है जी। जो अभी तक की प्रोग्रेस है, पहले हम इसे पहले मंथ पे रोकेंगे, फिर हम उसके बाद चौथे मंथ पे रोकेंगे। तो पहली स्टॉप लाइन मेरी है कि अभी एक महीना गुजरा है। तो ईवी है जी मेरा 6K, कॉस्ट इज 6 6K, और ये हो गया जी 10K, 12K, 20K, 25K, 35, 30, 50, 60। खैर ये फ्यूचर को तो छोड़ें, वो तो वैल्यूज अभी। पहला महीना गुजरा जी, अभी मुझे इसकी यहाँ पे स्केड्यूल वेरिएंस, कॉस्ट वेरिएंस, SPI, CPI ये निकाल के दीजिए जी पहले महीने की।
सर मैं बताऊं, निकाल
जी
लिया मैंने।
जी जी।
SV फर्स्ट मंथ की बात कर रहा हूँ। SV 1000
SV माइनस है प्लस है?
प्लस
प्लस 1000। CV
CV 0,
0, SPI
SPI 1.2
1.2, CPI
और CPI 1।
1। दूसरे महीने की जी अजीम आप बता
दूसरे
दें।
की अभी नहीं की,
अजीम आप बता
दूसरे की
दीजिए।
अभी की
चले
जी,
अजीम।
दूसरे की अभी नहीं की मैं कर रहा हूँ।
अच्छा, और कौन है शहरयार कने? निखत आप बहुत खामोश हैं।
नहीं सर, मैं फॉलो कर रही हूँ।
अच्छा,
मैं कैलकुलेट कर रही हूँ।
हमारी मदद भी करती जाए साथ साथ।
जी
जनाब
जी।
जी अभी कौन बोल रहे थे जी? इमरान?
सर मैं भी कैलकुलेशन में लगा हुआ हूँ, बता रहा हूँ
अच्छा,
आपको।
इतना मुश्किल सवाल तो नहीं दे दिया भाई।
ये सब बहुत आसान है, ये तो सीधा सीधा सिंपल फार्मूले में रखना है और वैल्यू निकालनी है, हो जाएगा।
SPI divided by 5 1.2 and CPI 6 divided by
सर सेकंड का SV -2 है।
सेकंड का SV आपने कहा -2K, CV
जी CVP -2,
-2K, SPI
SPI 0.83,
0.83।
और CPI भी 0.83।
अच्छा, वेरी गुड जी। थर्ड महीने पे आ जाएं जी, कौन कर रहा है?
इससे थर्ड अभी कर रहे हैं।
ओके
सर थर्ड में SV 0,
SV 0।
SV 0। हेलो
जी 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 जी, आगे CV CV
हेलो जी, CV -5000।
जी
हेलो
जी जी जी, आवाज आ
जी,
रही है?
SPI
जी जी
जी जी, अब SPI 1
जी, हो गया। CPI
और CPI 0.8।
0.8। तीसरे पे आ जाइए जी।
0.8।
चौथा महीना ये।
नंबर 4। ओके, कंटिन्यू।
जी जी, -2K 5K SPI बताइएगा।
सर फोर्थ का SV -2 है। SPI 0.94।
SPI 0.94 और CPI 35/30
94।
1.9
1.16।
1.16। राइट, यहीं छोड़ते हैं जी। आपने देखा
1.16।
1.16, ठीक हो गया। अभी आपको ये स्क्रीन पे नजर आ रहा होगा कि दिस इज हाउ द थिंग्स आर टर्निंग आउट टू बी। ये बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग किस्म का ये सीन बनता है। और अगर मैं इसको ड्रॉ करूं, आई डोंट नो, जगह नहीं है यहाँ पे इतनी, तो ये कुछ ऐसा लगेगा। ओके, मैं ईवी को अगर प्लॉट करूं, ये पहला महीना, ये दूसरा महीना, तीसरा, चौथा, पांचवा, छठा, तो पहले महीने में अर्न वैल्यू जो है थोड़ी ऊपर जा रही है, यहां पे करके आ रही है। और एक्चुअल कॉस्ट भी वहीं आ रही है। दूसरे महीने में भी ऊपर जा रही है। दूसरे महीने में भी अर्न वैल्यू ऊपर जा रही है। तीसरे महीने में बिल्कुल उस पॉइंट के ऊपर आ रही है। और चौथे महीने में नीचे आ रही है, यहां आ रही है। ये आप देख रहे हैं ट्रेंड क्या बन रहा है इसका? ये बन रहा है। ये नोट किया आपने कि ये मैं सिर्फ अभी अर्न वैल्यू बनाई है, अर्न वैल्यू का ये ट्रेंड बन रहा है। और अभी देख लेते हैं आपकी कॉस्ट का, एक्चुअल कॉस्ट का। तो ये जनाब एक्चुअल कॉस्ट इधर ही आ रही है। उसके बाद ये आ रही है 12 पे, वो भी और फिर आ रही है 25 पे, इधर जा रही है और फिर जा रही है 30 पे, फिर नीचे आ गई, तो ये बल्कि इधर थी। ये कुछ इस तरह का ट्रेंड आपको कॉस्ट दे रही है, और स्केड्यूल जो है वो जो है आपने देख ही लिया, कुछ इस तरह का ट्रेंड स्केड्यूल दे रहा है। तो इससे मुझे नजर आता है कि कहां चीजों को पुश करना है। मिसाल के तौर पे यहां मुझे नजर आ रहा है कि जहां तक कॉस्ट का ताल्लुक है, ये आप देखिए कॉस्ट यहां पर नीचे जा रही है, और ये 2 पॉइंट्स है जहां ऊपर जा रही है। तो इधर से कंट्रोल करूंगा तो ये इधर नीचे आ गई, नीचे आना तो खैर चले अच्छी बात है, कॉस्ट की जहां तक ताल्लुक है। ये ट्रेंड इस तरह से बन रहा है, और इसी ट्रेंड से फिर मैंने ये डिटरमिन करना है, प्रोजेक्ट करके ये देखना है कि इस महीने पे 5वें महीने में क्या होना चाहिए, मेरा क्या टारगेट है, किधर को होना चाहिए। तो जनरली स्पीकिंग वो कोई इसके दरमियान से ट्रेंड निकल के आएगा और यहाँ पे आके लैंड करेगा, और इसी को जब मैं एक्सटेंड करूंगा तो ये कोई इधर पहुंच जाएगा। तो ये मेरी प्रोजेक्शन हो जाएगी, ये मेरा फोरकास्ट हो जाएगा, आखिरी एंड जो है मेरा फोरकास्ट हो जाएगा। एनीवेज जी, इन सब चीजों को एक तरफ, अभी हम ये देखते हैं कि अब तक हमने जितना भी काम कर लिया है, टाइम गुजर गया है, आइंदा क्या होगा। फर्ज करें कि पहला ही महीना गुजरा, दूसरा तीसरा चौथा अभी नहीं गुजरा। पहले महीने का डाटा आपके सामने है, स्केड्यूल परफॉर्मेंस इंडेक्स 1.2 जा रहा है, कॉस्ट परफॉर्मेंस इंडेक्स 1 जा रहा है, बहुत ही आला सिचुएशन है। अगर कॉस्ट को देखा जाए तो इसका मतलब है कि हम बिल्कुल ऑन स्पॉट जा रहे हैं, जितना काम किया है उतना ही पैसा खर्च किया है। देयरफॉर अगर हम इसी स्पीड से चलते रहे तो इट कैन बी इजीली फोरकास्टेड कि प्रोजेक्ट जितनी मुद्दत में और जितने पैसे में होना है, बल्कि पैसों की बात करते हैं क्योंकि सीपीआई का ताल्लुक पैसे से है, तो जितने पैसे में ये प्रोजेक्ट होना था, मतलब जो टोटल बजट आपका 50,000 का था, उसमें ये काम हो जाएगा। पहले महीने में खड़े होकर मेरा ये अंदाजा था कि ये इतने पैसों में ये काम हो जाएगा। लेकिन जहां तक स्केड्यूल का ताल्लुक है, वो मैं देख रहा हूं कि मैं तो बहुत आला जा रहा हूं, और अगर मैं इसी स्पीड से चलता रहा तो शायद ये काम मैं वक्त से पहले मुकम्मल कर लूं। मतलब ये 6 महीनों से पहले शायद ये मुकम्मल हो जाए, 5 साढ़े 5 महीने में ये काम कंप्लीट हो जाए। 1.2 है ना, तो आप ज्यादा अच्छा परफॉर्म करें, जल्दी निकाल कर लेंगे। तो सिर्फ पहले महीने का डाटा देखना है, आपने दूसरे तीसरे चौथे का नहीं देखना। पहले महीने के डाटे को देख के तो ये अंदाजा होता है। तो पहले महीने पे अगर आप खड़े हो और किसी महीने का डाटा अवेलेबल ना हो, या यूं कहिए कि आपके पास एक ही प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट है, आगे पीछे की प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्टें नहीं पता, तो उसका बड़ा सिंपल तरीका है कि आप जो फोरकास्ट करते हैं उसको कहते हैं एस्टिमेट एट कंप्लीशन, उसको कहते हैं जी EAC। और आम फार्मूला इसका जो है वो ये है कि जो बजट एट कंप्लीशन है उसको सीपीआई से अगर डिवाइड कर दिया जाए तो एक जनरली आपको अंदाजा हो जाता है कि आपका प्रोजेक्ट कितने पैसे में खत्म होगा। चूंकि आपका सीपीआई 1 था तो आपका जो बीएसी है, ये है आपका बीएसी, बजट एट कंप्लीशन। बीएसी 50,000 है, 50,000 डिवाइडेड बाय 1 तो 50,000 में हो जाएगा। लेकिन जरा देखिए दूसरे महीने का जो सीपीआई है, अगर मैं उससे डिवाइड करूं तो आपका कॉस्ट क्या बनती है बताएंगे? 50,000 डिवाइडेड बाय 0.83,
$60,240 60240
64240
60240 जी
60240। तो ये तो हो गया, ये हो गया जी मेरा दूसरे महीने का EAC, दूसरे महीने का। व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन BAC एंड EAC? बीएसी और ईएसी के डिफरेंस को कहते हैं वेरिएंस एट कंप्लीशन, विच इज बीएसी माइनस ईएसी। तो इसका मतलब है कि -10,240 मेरी वेरिएंस एट कंप्लीशन आ गई है। ठीक है जी।
हेलो
जी जी।
सर, सॉरी, मैं कोई 8-10 मिनट के लिए डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था। मैं ट्राई रीस्टार्ट किया था कंप्यूटर, तो ये मुझे समझ आ गया सर। एईएसी, वीएसी, वीएसी। इससे
हम्म।
पहले जो आपने रेड ग्रीन में ट्रेंड एनालिसिस किया सर, क्विकली अगर आप गो थ्रू कर दें।
मैंने सिर्फ ये किया है कि एसपीआई और सीपीआई की वैल्यूज को मैंने नो सॉरी, एसपीआई सीपीआई नहीं, पीवी और एसी की वैल्यूज को मैंने इधर प्लॉट कर दिया है। रेड में मैंने जो किया था वो मैंने गालिबन ईवी को किया था। ईवी की वैल्यू रेड में है और एसी की ग्रीन में है। तो थोड़ी सी गलती होगी होगी लेकिन अप्रोक्सीमेटली। तो उससे मैं ट्रेंड दिखाना चाहता था कि हम अपनी पीवी की लाइन से कितना आगे या पीछे हैं, और हमें यहां से भी अंदाजा होता है क्या ट्रेंड रखना है। और अगर मैं वो दूसरा वाला ग्राफ बना लूं जो सीपीआई और एसपीआई से बनता है, उससे तो बिल्कुल मुझे सही सही अंदाजा हो जाएगा कि मैंने कितना आगे या पीछे हूं। इसके बाद मैं अगली बात ये कर रहा था जो अभी मैं इस वक्त कर रहा हूं कि अगर मुझे सिर्फ एक ही महीने का डाटा हो, अभी मैं अगले 2 3 4 की बात नहीं कर रहा, तो फिर मेरा बजट एट कंप्लीशन पहले महीने के एंड पे मेरा क्या ख्याल है कि जितने बजट में ये काम होना था 50,000 में, क्या हो जाएगा। तो उसका तरीका मैंने बताया कि ईएसी का फार्मूला है बीएसी डिवाइडेड बाय सीपीआई। बीएसी मेरा 50,000 है, सीपीआई पहले महीने का 1 है, तो 50,000 डिवाइड बाय 1, तो चूंकि वो 1 है तो इसका मतलब है कि 50,000 में हो जाएगा। दूसरे महीने का जो मेरा सीपीआई निकला है वो 0.83 निकला है। अगर मैं 50,000 को 0.83 से डिवाइड कर दूं तो ये आपका आ जाता है 60,240। ठीक है जी। ये है मेरा एस्टिमेट एट कंप्लीशन। ये दूसरे महीने के एंड पे खड़ा होके मैं देख रहा हूं इस पॉइंट के ऊपर। इस वक्त मेरा जो एस्टिमेट एट कंप्लीशन, मैं इधर बना भी देता हूं अगर जगह है तो। एस्टिमेट एट कंप्लीशन मेरा पहले महीने का तो 50 के ही निकला, दूसरे महीने का निकला 60, क्या निकला, हाँ 60.24 के। तीसरे महीने का 0.8 से डिवाइड करें उसी 50,000 को, ये आ गया 62.5।
62.5
और अगर मैं चौथे महीने का करूं तो
अच्छा सर,
50। जी बोले।
सर इसमें क्वेश्चन है, इसमें मतलब कोई प्रोजेक्शन या फोरकास्टिंग तो इधर नहीं हो रही इसमें। सारा अगर आप वैल्यूज को कंसिडर करें तो सारा एक्चुअल वर्क है,
ये फोरकास्टिंग
करेक्ट
कर रहा हूं ना मैं इस वक्त। ये जो मैं ईएसी निकाल रहा हूं ये फोरकास्ट है।
सर? लेकिन
जी बोलिए।
आई नो सर, लेकिन इसमें एक्चुअल कॉस्ट भी अंडर इन्वॉल्व है उसकी, राइट, जो अकर हो चुकी है
उसको
प्रोजेक्ट में।
नहीं, एक मिनट मैं उसकी तरफ आता हूं। मैं अभी आपको सिंपलेस्ट फार्मूला बता रहा हूं। आई एम टेलिंग यू द
ठीक है।
सिंपलेस्ट फार्मूला, राइट। तो सिंपलेस्ट फार्मूला ये था कि जो कुछ अभी तक हुआ है वो आइंदा भी होने का इम्कान है। मतलब आई एम स्टैंडिंग एट मंथ 1, एंड ऑफ मंथ 1, तो मैं कहता हूं कि अब जो मेरी सिचुएशन है यही आइंदा भी होगी, तो चलो सारे पे यही होगी। तो मैंने क्या कह दिया कि सारे प्रोजेक्ट पे इसको कर दिया। बट दिस इज बेस्ट एप्लीकेबल ओनली आफ्टर द फर्स्ट मंथ, बट नॉट आफ्टर द सेकंड और थर्ड और फोर्थ मंथ, बिकॉज सेकंड मंथ के एंड के ऊपर सिर्फ ये 60,240 मैटर नहीं करेगा। वहां चीज जो मैटर कर रही है वो ये कर रही है कि भाई मेरा 2 महीने गुजर चुके हैं, एक महीने का ट्रेंड था 1, एक का 0.83, तो दोनों के दरमियान की कोई बात होनी चाहिए ना। वी कांट टेक एवरेज ऑफ दीज टू वैल्यूज। उसका तरीकाकार ये होता है, यार इसमें एक बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है कि हम इसको सेव नहीं कर सकते, इन शीटों को मुझे डिलीट करना पड़ता है।
चलो स्नैपशॉट ले लें।
कोई नहीं, खैर है। तो होता ये है जनाब कि हमें करना ये पड़ता है कि अगर तो पहला महीना है तब तो ठीक हो गया, BAC बाय CPI। तो जो एक जनरल फार्मूला EAC का है वो है BAC बाय CPI। बट मैंने कहा कि ये उसी वक्त अप्लाई करना है जब मेरे पास एक ही महीने का डेटा हो। अगर एक से ज्यादा महीने का होगा तो बात बदल जाएगी। तो ये फार्मूला आ गया। तो और वेरिएंस एट कंप्लीशन जो है वो होती है कि जो आपका BAC था वो मेरी ओरिजिनल था, उससे EAC क्या निकला वो माइनस कर दें। तो इन दोनों का जो फर्क होगा वो मेरी वेरिएंस एट कंप्लीशन होगी कि हम ज्यादा कितना पैसा खर्च कर रहे हैं। अगर ज्यादा कर रहे हैं तो नेगेटिव में आएगा, अगर कम कर रहे हैं तो पॉजिटिव में आएगा। बचत होगी तो पॉजिटिव में आएगी। तो ये दो नई चीजें आ गई, EAC और VAC। लेकिन मैंने कहा EAC का जो ये फार्मूला है ये सिर्फ उस सूरत में जब एक ही वैल्यू अवेलेबल हो। अब मैं बताता हूं कि EAC का असल फार्मूला क्या है। EAC का फार्मूला ये होगा कि अब तक मैं क्या कहना चाह रहा हूं कि और कितना पैसा खर्च होगा। जैसे आप अभी कह रहे थे अब तक जो पैसा खर्च हो चुका है वो तो AC है, वो तो हो गया।
यस सर।
उसके बाद कितना खर्च होना है प्लस दैट इज रिमेनिंग वर्क डिवाइडेड बाय CPI। मगर फिर वहां हम ये एक और मसला खड़ा हो जाएगा कि भाई ये CPI तो दूसरे महीने का लिया आपने या जिस महीने के में भी खड़े हैं उसका लिया, तो पिछलों का कम्युलेटिव इफेक्ट कैसे आएगा।
सर आप
उसके लिए हम CPI का कम्युलेटिव
सर
इफेक्ट
आपकी
लेंगे।
आवाज डिस्कनेक्ट।
जी आवाज अभी आ रही है?
यस सर आ रही है। एसी के बाद सर डिस्कनेक्ट हो गई थी आप जब लिख रहे
ओके।
थे ये तो।
मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि AC तो जो खर्च कर चुके ना आप, AC अब तक जितना पैसा खर्च हो चुका वो तो हो चुका, वो तो वापस नहीं आ सकता। तो वो तो खर्च हो
करेक्ट।
गया। अब सवाल है और कितना खर्च होगा। इसके लिए मुझे पता होना चाहिए व्हाट इज माय रिमेनिंग वर्क। जो रिमेनिंग वर्क है उसके ऊपर CPI का कोई कम्युलेटिव इफेक्ट डाला जाए। तो रिमेनिंग वर्क को पहले देख लेते हैं कि बचा बाकी कितना बचा। बाकी काम जो बचा है वो है, टोटल काम तो था BAC, उसमें से जो काम हो गया वो अर्न वैल्यू, ये मेरा रिमेनिंग वर्क है। EV क्या है? अर्न वैल्यू, जो काम हो गया। BAC टोटल काम में से अर्न वैल्यू हो गया। बाकी क्या बचा? रिमेनिंग वर्क। इसी तरह CPIC क्या चीज है? जैसे मैंने कहा कि जितने CPI आज तक गुजर चुके हैं उनका सिंपल एवरेज नहीं लिया जाता। जी जी
सर ये जो EAC का सेकंड फॉर्मूला लिखा है आपने, या आप अभी इस वक्त सेकंड मंथ में खड़े हैं?
जी, सेकंड फार्मूले में हूं मैं। पहला
नहीं
फार्मूला
नहीं,
था।
मेरा मतलब है नहीं नहीं, फॉर्मूला क्वेश्चन फॉर्मूले का नहीं है सर। वो आपने जितना पहले ही क्लियर कर दिया कि ऊपर EAC फर्स्ट मंथ पे एप्लीकेबल होता है,
या फर्स्ट
तो
मंथ
इसका
हो।
मतलब है कि हम अब सेकंड मंथ में हैं।
हाँ जी, सेकंड और बियॉन्ड। देखिए मैं आपको बता रहा हूं,
सेकंड या
पहला वाला फार्मूला जो है दैट इज एप्लीकेबल टू इफ यू आर स्टैंडिंग ऑन द वेरी फर्स्ट मंथ, और if you do not know any data of past and you have only one set of data। ठीक है ना, कोई पुराना डाटा नहीं है आपके पास, आपको सिर्फ पता है कि इस दफा की CPI क्या है, तो बस मैं उसी पे रिलाई कर सकता हूं, मेरे पास और कोई रास्ता नहीं है, तो मैं CPI से डिवाइड कर दूंगा। ठीक है जी। और एग्जाम में आपको जो क्वेश्चन आएगा वो मोस्टली आसान वाला होगा, वो कहेगा CPI से डिवाइड करने वाला बताओ। वो आपको पूरी हिस्ट्री नहीं देगा, इस महीना इतना महीने, लेकिन जनरली स्पीकिंग मैं आपको बता रहा हूं कि BAC डिवाइड बाय CPI। ठीक है। अच्छा, अब मैं बात कर रहा हूं कि अगर कोई और महीना हो और आपके पास पूरा डाटा हो, पहला महीना, दूसरा महीना, तीसरा महीना, तो उस सूरत में जितने पहले CPI गुजर चुके हैं उनका कम्युलेटिव इफेक्ट का तरीका होगा सिग्मा EV डिवाइडेड बाय सिग्मा AC, जिसका मतलब है कि सिग्मा EV का मतलब है कि जितने भी EV गुजरे, EV1 प्लस EV2, फर्स्ट में 2 गुजरे, EV2 को प्लस कर लें और इस सारे को डिवाइड कर लें सिग्मा सॉरी AC1 प्लस AC2, जो जितने भी हैं, ये आपको एक बहुत ही रीजनेबल CPI दे देगा जो कम्युलेटिव होगा। अब आप
सर डिवाइड में भी
जी जी
एसी को प्लस कर रहे हैं, राइट? सर आपकी आवाज ब्रेक हो रही है एक्चुअली, तो ये
एसी को प्लस कर रहे हैं,
डिवाइड एसी प्लस हो रहे हैं, राइट? AC1 प्लस AC2।
ईवी सारे इकट्ठे प्लस हो रहे हैं, उसके नीचे इसको डिवाइड कर रहा हूं मैं एसी से। फार्मूला यही है ना सीपीआई का, ईवी बाय एसी। तो मैंने कहा सिग्मा ईवी बाय सिग्मा
ठीक
एसी।
है।
सिग्मा ईवी का मतलब सारे ईवी जमा कर लो, और एसी का मतलब सारे एसी जमा कर लो, और एक दूसरे से डिवाइड कर दो। ये फार्मूला किताब में नहीं
अच्छा
दिया हुआ।
ठीक सर, इसमें एक क्वेश्चन है कि अगर ये जो एसी है,
जी
लेट से फर्स्ट मंथ में 1000 कॉस्ट आई थी, ठीक है, एक्चुअल
जी
कॉस्ट।
जी
सेकेंड मंथ में 6000 आई है,
हम्म।
तो एसी में मैं 6000 लिखूंगा।
जितनी भी वो जो भी आ रही है ना, AC1 AC2 जो भी वैल्यूज हैं वही लिखेंगे आप, उसमें से प्लस माइनस कुछ नहीं करना।
तो
कमुलेटिव
वो
वैल्यूज ही
एक्यूमुलेटिव,
लिखनी है, कमुलेटिव ही लिखनी है।
यानी कि
हाँ जी।
तो इधर भी वो साइन आना चाहिए, राइट, फॉर्मूले में?
नहीं 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 नहीं, सिग्मा और चीज है, कमुलेटिव और चीज है। ईवी पीवी और
सॉरी,
एसी, सिग्मा और चीज है, और कमुलेटिव और चीज है। कमुलेटिव का मतलब होता है कि अगर ईवी की वैल्यूज चल रही हैं, तो ईवी1 ईवी2 कमुलेट करता है पिछली वैल्यूज को, ईवी3 कमुलेट कर, सब कमुलेटेड वैल्यूज है। एसी की भी सारी कमुलेटेड वैल्यूज है। लेकिन सिग्मा कर रहा हूं तो मैं ये एज्यूम कर रहा हूं, मैं इनको इस वजह से नहीं कर रहा कि ये कमुलेटेड वैल्यूज है, मैं इनका सिर्फ नेट इफेक्ट निकालना चाह रहा हूं। सारे ईवीज को जमा कर रहा हूं, सारे
तो सर
एसीज को।
एसी में सर क्या होगा? 1000 प्लस 6000, 7000 लिखेंगे, राइट?
जो अगला वाला वैल्यू होगी वो 7000 7 आ जाएगी। अगली जो है वो 12000 है, 12000 आ जाएगी, बढ़ती जाएंगी ना।
एक्यूमुलेटिव होगा फिर वो।
हाँ जी, वो एक्चुअल जो वैल्यूज हैं उनकी एक्चुअल एक्यूमुलेटेड ही होंगी वो।
ठीक सर।
ठीक है जी। अच्छा खैर, मैं इस बहस में नहीं पड़ता कि ये कैसे हो रहा है, लेकिन एक वैल्यू इससे जो निकलेगी वो आ जाएगी से 0.9। ठीक है जी। अब आप ये कीजिए कि यहां पे रखें AC प्लस BAC माइनस EV, इसके नीचे डिवाइड करें CPIC की वैल्यू जो आई है ना 0.9 उसके साथ। ये दे देगा आपको टोटल EAC। मतलब ये जो पोर्शन है ना, ये वाला या ये वाला पोर्शन जो है, दिस इज कॉल्ड ETC। ETC का मतलब होता है एस्टिमेट टू कंप्लीट, बकाया काम करने के लिए कितना पैसा चाहिए। एस्टिमेट टू कंप्लीट, बकाया काम करने के लिए कितना पैसा चाहिए। उसमें अगर मैं AC जमा कर दूं तो EAC बन जाता है। कंफ्यूज्ड?
सर ईटीसी और ईएसी में क्या फर्क हुआ फिर?
देखिए,
एस्टिमेट टू
EAC
कंप्लीट
इज द
और एक
अल्टीमेट फोरकास्ट कि पूरा प्रोजेक्ट कितने पैसे में खत्म होगा। ETC का मतलब है आज के बाद कितना पैसा और लगाना पड़ेगा। एस्टिमेट टू कंप्लीट।
सर बस मुझे इसमें एक चीज समझ नहीं आई कि ये मेरे हिसाब से सर ये एक्यूमुलेटिव नहीं होना चाहिए था एसी, क्योंकि अगर आप पिछला आप अपना ग्राफ
ये
वो
वाले एसी
टेबल
की बात
देखते,
कर रहे हैं आप?
उसमें हर मंथ में एसी अकर।
आप इस एसी की बात कर रहे हैं या इस एसी की बात कर रहे
सर
हैं?
ये फॉर्मूला है ना, ईएसी इज इक्वल टू एसी प्लस।
हाँ, ये कम्युलेटेड वैल्यू है। कम्युलेटेड का मतलब है एसी तो होता ही कम्युलेटेड है ना।
सर
अगर मैं एसी तीसरे महीने का उठा रहा हूं,
सर
तो तीसरे महीने में तो पहले दूसरे की वैल्यू जमा होके ही वो बनता है। बात
अच्छा सर, वो पिछला
मेरी
टेबल
बात
जो
सुनो,
था
मेरी
वो
बात सुनो, मेरी
एक्यूमुलेटिव
बात
था
सुनो।
आपका?
अब तक कितना पैसा खर्च हो चुका है, वो तीनों महीने का पैसा खर्च हो चुका है ना। अगर अब तीसरा महीना है तो अब तक कितना पैसा खर्च हो चुका है, वो पूरा पैसा खर्च हो चुका है ना। राइट
ठीक, 30 महीने का है सर।
राइट। यहां पे मैं यूं कह लीजिए कि ये तीसरे महीने में जो एसी की वैल्यू थी ये वो है, ऐसा कह लो तुम। तीसरे
तो
महीने में
उसके
जो एसी
अंदर
की वैल्यू थी ये वो है, विच इज कमुलेटिव, जो है ही कमुलेटिव।
हम्म,
ठीक है ना।
तो सर एसी के टेबल में मुझे कभी कोई ऐसी फिगर नहीं मिलेगी, मिसाल के तौर पे सेकंड मंथ में 6000 हो लेकिन थर्ड मंथ में 2000 हो,
ऐसा नहीं हो सकता।
ये नहीं हो सकता।
नेक्स्ट मंथ में 8000
ठीक
होगा,
है,
6 होगा, 8
समझ आ
होगा,
गई।
फिर उसके अंदर मजीद और
ठीक
ऐड होता चला जाएगा। तो ये ईवी पीवी एसी तीनों ऐसे हैं, क्योंकि ये नीचे नहीं आते, ये ऊपर ही बढ़ते जाते हैं, ये जमा होते जाते हैं।
ठीक हो गया सर।
अच्छा जी, ये फॉर्मूला आपको समझ आ गया। इसके अलावा किताब में कुछ और भी तरीके दिए हुए हैं ईएसी को कैलकुलेट करने के, और साथ रीजन भी दी हुई है कि अगर ऐसी सिचुएशन हो तो ऐसे कर लो, अगर ऐसी हो तो ऐसे कर लो। तो 8 10 15 फार्मूले उसके अंदर मुख्तलिफ दिए हुए हैं। मिसाल के तौर पे कहता जी, कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि सीपीआई और एसपीआई का इकट्ठा इफेक्ट होना चाहिए, तो उसमें वो क्या कहता है कि ऐसा करें, ये जैसे जहां मैंने सीपीआई सी लिखा है ना, इसको अक्सर लोग नहीं मानते, जबकि ये सबसे बेहतरीन तरीका है। वो क्या करते हैं, वो कहते हैं कि सीपीआई प्लस एसपीआई कर दो, यहां पर रिमेनिंग वर्क के नीचे सीपीआई प्लस एसपीआई कर देते हैं। कहते हैं सीपीआई और एसपीआई का बराबर बराबर इंपैक्ट आ गया। बात समझ आई? हेलो।
यस सर, समझ रहे हैं सर।
ऑप्शंस दी गई हैं किताब में। ये रिमेनिंग वर्क के नीचे वाली जो सीपीआई सी है, इसको कुछ लोग सीपीआई प्लस एसपीआई भी लिखते हैं कुछ खास सिचुएशंस में, जहां वो समझते हैं कि स्केड्यूल का भी असर पड़ेगा एस्टिमेट एट कंप्लीशन के ऊपर। कुछ जगहों पे वो कहते हैं नहीं, 80% तो सीपीआई का फर्क होगा और 20% एसपीआई का असर पड़ेगा, तो वो कहते हैं 0.8 सीपीआई प्लस 0.2 एसपीआई, ऐसे भी करते हैं। तो मतलब वो आप किताब में देख लीजिएगा कि क्या क्या तरीके उसने मजीद दिए हैं, लेकिन जनरली आपको जो सवाल पूछे जाएंगे वो इसी किस्म के होंगे। जो ये बेसिक फार्मूला, एक तो ये आपको अच्छी तरह से पता होना चाहिए और इसका लॉजिक पता होना चाहिए ईएसी का, और ये ईटीसी का फार्मूला ये है। ठीक है जी,
यस सर।
चलें जी आगे चलते हैं, मेरा ख्याल है बात हो गई। अच्छा, एक चीज और भी मैं बताता चलूं, इसको मैं एक दफा क्लियर कर दूं। एक चीज रह गई है और उसको कहते हैं TCPI। ये है जी टू कंप्लीट परफॉर्मेंस इंडेक्स। ये जरा डिफरेंट चीज है। इसका मतलब है कि हम जहां कहीं भी खड़े हैं, इस काम को मुकम्मल करने के लिए हमें कितनी परफॉर्मेंस देनी पड़ेगी, उसका इंडेक्स क्या है। इसका तरीका है कि रिमेनिंग वर्क डिवाइडेड बाय रिमेनिंग कॉस्ट। रिमेनिंग वर्क तो आपको पता ही है, BAC माइनस EV। टोटल पैसों में से जो काम हो चुका है वो में निकाल दो तो रिमेनिंग वर्क निकलेगा। और रिमेनिंग कॉस्ट क्या है, टोटल पैसे में से टोटल कॉस्ट निकाल दो जो अब तक हुई है, तो वो आ जाएगा। तो BAC माइनस EV डिवाइडेड बाय BAC माइनस AC इज द फॉर्मूला फॉर TCPI। अगर फर्ज कर लें कि दोनों बराबर हों तो जवाब 1 आ जाएगा। इसका मतलब है कि जितना काम बाकी है उतना ही पैसा बाकी है, तो इसका मतलब है हम कर लेंगे, कोई मसला नहीं है, परफॉर्मेंस इज ओके। अच्छा, यहां पर अगर BAC ऊपर वाली वैल्यू ज्यादा आ जाए, मतलब अगर काम ज्यादा है और पैसे कम है, अगर एक से ऊपर वैल्यू आ जाए TCPI की, तो ये अच्छी सिचुएशन नहीं है। इसका मतलब है कि कम पैसों में ज्यादा काम करना पड़ेगा, मेहनत ज्यादा करनी पड़ेगी। आई हैव टू पुश माई स्टाफ। अगर वैल्यू TCPI की 1 से ज्यादा आ जाए तो अच्छी सिचुएशन नहीं है, ये काम करना मुश्किल है। आई हैव टू पुट इन एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट, क्योंकि मेरे पास पैसे कम है, जो बाकी पैसे बचे हैं वो कम है और काम ज्यादा है। और अगर रिवर्स हो, मतलब काम कम हो और पैसे ज्यादा हो, मेरा जवाब 1 से कम आ जाए, तो ये अच्छी बात है। मतलब मेरे पास पैसे ज्यादा हैं और काम कम है, इसका मतलब है आई कैन रिलैक्स अ बिट, मुझे ज्यादा बॉदर करने की जरूरत नहीं है, परफॉर्मेंस को पुश करने की जरूरत नहीं है, आई एम ओके विद इट। ठीक है जी। जी जनाब। ये सब्सिक्वेंट स्लाइड्स को आप देखिएगा, इनमें यही बातें जो मैंने आपसे की हैं, वही सब फार्मूले, वही सब बातें यहां पे आपको दी गई हैं। ये सब टर्मिनोलॉजी देख लीजिए, ये इनको डिफाइन किया हुआ है, इनकी अंग्रेजी लिखी हुई है सारी, इसको आप अपने तौर पे पढ़ लीजिएगा। सारे फार्मूले कैसे डिड्यूस हुए, एसपीआई, सीपीआई, उनके फार्मूले, ये ग्राफ आपका फोरकास्टिंग कैसे करते हैं, ईएसी क्या चीज है, ईटीसी क्या चीज है, फिर ये डिफरेंट फार्मूले, ईएसी इज इक्वल टू एसी प्लस बीएसी माइनस ईवी, ये एक सिचुएशन है, बीएसी डिवाइडेड बाय सीपी एक और सिचुएशन है, ये जहां पे मल्टीप्लाई हो रहा है ये एक और सिचुएशन है। ये डिफरेंट फार्मूले उसके, वेरियस उसकी, फिर टीसीपीआई आ जाता है, एंड दैट्स इट जी। तो ये जनाब, ये किताब में देखेंगे आपको ये फार्मूले लिखे हुए नजर आएंगे सारे, अर्न वैल्यू के ये सब फार्मूले इसमें किताब में दिए हुए। ये वो ईएसी निकालने के मुख्तलिफ तरीके हैं, टीसीपीआई, और ये सब कुछ इसमें किताब में आपको मिल जाएंगे फार्मूले, और ये मैंने आपको कंप्लीट करा दिया। बाकी ये कुछ एग्जांपल्स हैं आखिर में, इनको आप अपने तौर पे कर लीजिएगा, प्रेजेंटेशन तो है आपके पास, इन एग्जांपल्स को देख के आपको और समझ आ जाएगा। अब मिसाल के तौर पे जी जनाब, क्या कह रहे हैं? ओके, तो अब मिसाल के तौर पे अगर पीवी, ईवी और एसी तीनों एक बराबर हों तो बहुत अच्छी सिचुएशन है, आप स्केड्यूल के भी मुताबिक जा रहे हैं, कॉस्ट के भी मुताबिक जा रहे हैं, कोई परेशानी नहीं है इसके अंदर। अच्छा, अगर पीवी 1900 हो और एसी 1700 हो तो क्या सिचुएशन है बताएंगे? जी इमरान, अगर पीवी 1900 है और एसी 1700 है, जी अजीम।
सर ये भी अच्छी सिचुएशन है, क्योंकि जितना प्लान किया था उससे $200 बच गया है और काम पूरा हो गया है।
हाउ डू यू नो दैट?
बिकॉज एक्चुअल कॉस्ट, हाँ मतलब
ये तो खर्च हुआ
इफ
है,
वी लिव विद ओनली, जी
प्लान था 1900 में काम होगा, 1700 पैसे खर्च हुए, काम कहाँ हुआ है भाई? काम
नहीं,
तो हुआ
अगर
ही नहीं।
इसी इतनी सी अगर इसी इंफॉर्मेशन को रिलाय करें और रिज्यूम करें कि
इसको
काम
रिलाय
कंप्लीट हो
करने
गया है,
से तो ये पता चलता है अपने पैसे खर्च कर दिए, हो सकता है कि फेंक आए हूं, काम कहाँ हुआ है? काम होता
हाँ
नहीं
ये नहीं
दिखाया।
पता चल।
जब
जी
तक ईवी
बिल्कुल।
ना हो हम कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते, ईवी के बगैर हम
ओके,
कुछ फैसला नहीं ले सकते। अब मैं आपको ईवी
तो
देता
कैन
हूं,
नॉट।
फिर हाँ एग्जैक्टली, दैट इज माय पॉइंट। ईवी आ गया जी, 1500 था जी ईवी। अब बताइए, सीधी सी बात है, ईवी बड़ा होना चाहिए जी दोनों से, पीवी से भी एसी से भी। ये सबसे छोटा है, इसका सीधा सीधा मतलब है कि हम स्केड्यूल में भी पीछे, कॉस्ट भी ज्यादा खर्च कर रहे हैं। स्केड्यूल में कितना पीछे है? 400, और कॉस्ट कितनी खर्च कर रहे हैं एक्स्ट्रा? 200। इसी तरह ये क्या सिचुएशन है जी, 2600, 2400, 2200। स्केड्यूल में हम 200 पीछे हैं, लेकिन कॉस्ट में हम 200 आगे हैं। मतलब वी आर डूइंग विद इन लेस देन दी बजट में कर रहे हैं काम, लेकिन काम थोड़ा कर रहे हैं। यहां क्या है जी, 1700, 1500, 1500। काम कम किया है मगर ऑन स्केड्यूल है, पूरे पूरे स्केड्यूल के ऊपर है, सॉरी ऑन कॉस्ट है। स्केड्यूल में पीछे है 200, लेकिन जितना काम किया उतने ही पैसे खर्च किए। यहां पे केस 5 में अर्न वैल्यू 1600 है, प्लान वैल्यू 1400, एसी भी 1400। मतलब आप स्केड्यूल में भी ज्यादा है और पैसे भी कम खर्च कर रहे हैं। छठे केस में कोई बताएगा मुझे, अलीजा?
सर हम लोग स्केड्यूल में तो आगे हैं लेकिन कॉस्ट हमने ज्यादा खर्च की है।
कॉस्ट हमने ज्यादा खर्च कर दी, वेरी गुड। यहां क्या सूरत हाल है 8वें केस में? निकत आप बताइएगा।
स्केड्यूल में हम लोग सर पूरे हैं लेकिन कॉस्ट फिर भी ज्यादा खर्च हो रही है।
कॉस्ट ओवर स्पेंड हो रही है, ठीक है। ये 9वां केस देखिए जी, इसमें क्या है जी, कौन बताएगा? निकत बताएंगी? जी अजीम।
स्केड्यूल में भी पीछे हैं और कॉस्ट भी ज्यादा की है।
वंडरफुल वंडरफुल। इसको तो बताए ना जरा।
तो इसमें हमने कुछ किए बगैर $800 उड़ा दिए।
यू हैव डन नथिंग, एब्सोल्युटली नथिंग, और $800 खर्च कर दिए, और दिस इज द बैड सिचुएशन। यहां बताइए ना जरा। जी जी लीजा।
सर हम शेड्यूल से आगे चल रहे हैं लेकिन कॉस्ट हम ज्यादा खर्च कर रहे हैं।
स्केड्यूल कौन सा दिखाइए, स्केड्यूल किधर है? प्लानिंग तो हुई नहीं।
सर हमने कुछ करना नहीं लेकिन बस हम करते जा रहे हैं।
प्लानिंग हुई ही नहीं है और फिर भी हम कुछ खर्च करते जा रहे हैं, काम करते जा रहे हैं, और खर्च उससे भी ज्यादा करते जा रहे हैं। जो भी काम करे जा रहे हैं उससे ज्यादा खर्च करे जा रहे हैं। तो ये जनाब, दिस इज ऑल अबाउट इट। ये आपका कॉस्ट का चैप्टर मैंने मुकम्मल करा दिया। मुझे पता नहीं है आप लोगों को कितना समझ आया होगा, लेकिन आई होप के आप पूरी तरह से सारी पिक्चर को ग्रैस्प करें, और खुद भी जब पढ़ेंगे मजीद तो चीजें और भी समझ आ जाएंगी। कोई क्वेश्चन हो तो बताइए अभी।
सर ये जो स्लाइड्स हैं, रिकॉर्डिंग्स तो अवेलेबल हैं, लेकिन ये स्लाइड्स एज ए पावर पॉइंट भी उस फोल्डर में है?
जी क्यों नहीं, क्यों नहीं,
ओके।
बिल्कुल है। और अगर मसला हो तो बताइएगा।
सर ये आज की रिकॉर्डिंग की आप कल तक हो जाएगी अपलोड?
मैं कर दूंगा इंशाल्लाह, अभी सुबह तक अपलोड हो जाएगी।
अच्छा
जी जनाब, एनी अदर थिंग? कॉस्ट तो हमने कर लिया, अब हम इंशाल्लाह कल से क्वालिटी और फिर आगे कार्रवाई करते हैं। तारीख क्या होगी जी? आज 24 निकल गई, बस अब कल आखिरी दिन है। देखते हैं।
सर एक दिन में तो मुश्किल ही है कि
नहीं नहीं,
होगा सारा।
हम आगे चलेंगे, 26 को करेंगे इंशाल्लाह, क्योंकि वो जो दूसरा कोर्स है
अच्छा।
उसकी मुझे अभी तक कंफर्म नहीं किया लोगों ने।
हम्म।
आप लोग
सर ज्यादा
जी
सॉरी आपकी लाइन काट ज्यादा सर 3 दिन की मार है सर आपकी बस
नहीं, हो जाएगा, हो जाएगा
नॉट मोर देन 2 days जी सर 3 दिन बस आई थिंक कल परसों और अगर 3 दिन मिल जाए तो आराम से सर कवर कर लेंगे इंशाल्लाह कोई ऐसा
इंशाल्लाह
मसला
इंशाल्लाह हम इसका कुछ ना कुछ इलाज
नहीं।
निकाल
मेन पॉइंट से तो निकल चुके हैं जी सर, पॉज कर
देंगे।
ली और बाकी सर शेड्यूलिंग में टाइम हमारा लग गया काफी